How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the Instruction Book Club. That's what we call it now. I'm Dylan, and I'm got Coleman here, and this is the second episode.
Episode number 2.
Episode number 2. We're going to be
Let's
going
get
through
into
our Switch games again here today.
Yes, we are.
But we got a few things first that we're going to go through. First thing, what have you been playing lately, Coleman? What have you been playing?
Let me tell you what I've been playing. I've been
Why, you
playing the
unblur?
game of trying to get my webcam to be focused. This webcam is fucking terrible. I don't know
we
what's
have the same
wrong with
webcam.
it. We do. I know we do. It's like the worst webcam in the history of all
Is it the
webcams.
same webcam?
Yeah, Dylan has the exact same
Yeah.
one. And Dylan's looks better. It runs better. It always stays focused.
At some point,
Okay,
I
we're
had a
in it.
software that I used to make mine look better.
Is it just like the Logitech software?
I think it might be. I don't remember. It might
I've
be.
played around with that before. I'll look into it. I'll try to figure it out. I don't know. Then maybe it's fallen off our computers one too many times. That's
You need a
okay.
new one.
I'll tell you what I've been playing, Dylan. I have been playing Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
So, what?
It unfocused again. I think it's
It loves doing that.
That's awful. That's really terrible. I've been. This is just brutal today. Okay, we're in this now. I gotta not
Good.
move so much. I've been playing Alan Wake 2 though on the PlayStation 5. Fun fact, I didn't know this, but that game doesn't have a physical. Did you know this?
I did know that. They didn't want to do physical because they wanted it to be cheaper.
That makes sense. I guess it is a $70 game instead of an $80 game.
Yeah.
Well, 80 instead of 90.
It feels a bit like a cop out, but
I agree. I can't help but agree. Well, you
Yeah.
look at what Larian's doing. They're doing a physical of Baldur's Gate 3, and it's just going to be like, it's going to have extra stuff
yeah,
to make it worth the extra $10.
very cool.
But I've been playing Alan Wake 2. I
Very
think
nice.
it's I'm like 5 or 6 hours in. I think it's pretty freaking outstanding. I can't lie.
It won. Didn't it win?
is.
It wasn't Game of the Year, but it won a bunch of
It won
awards.
a lot of awards.
Yeah.
Basically everything other than Game of the Year that it was
Yeah.
nominated for. And I can see why. It's
Yeah.
I was one of like the 3 people who would stand on the hilltops and shout about how good Alan Wake is. I
Yeah.
fucking love Alan Wake 1. Took me a little
I
while
remember
to
the
get around
Switch,
actually picking up the second.
I
but-
remember when you streamed the Switch port of Alan Wake.
No,
1.
I'd stream the PlayStation port.
Was
though.
it the PlayStation port?
It was
Oh,
and ran great. The Switch port, not the same story, unfortunately. But yeah, I've been playing it. It's been what a treat. I could see myself leaving this game and saying that is my game of the year.
cool.
Maybe even over Tears of the Kingdom. Who knows? Because it's
Wow.
just been wild. It really messes with your mind. I've been thinking about it while I'm at work all day.
Oh yeah.
And how badly I want to play it. So I'm looking forward to playing more. What have you
Cool.
been playing, Dylan?
I've been playing a myriad of things, a lot of stuff. My ADHD brain doesn't let me play a single game. It forces me, in fact, to play 5 or 6 games at a time. The big standouts, I'll tell you the big standout, and I'll tell you what I literally just finished playing prior to this.
Let's hear it.
The standout, of course, is Celeste. After last week's episode,
Oh, yeah!
you know I had to pop in Celeste. I was playing lots of Celeste. I got to the Windy City, whatever you want to call it, the Windy level.
I love that.
The wind
level.
was doing a little too much to me, so it's been a couple days since I played. I needed a break from the wind.
That's fair.
It got a
It's
little,
a tough
it got a
level.
little brisk. But I'll tell you,
chilly up there.
I'll tell you what I was playing right just before this. A little bit of Watch Dogs 2. I am a big fan of the Watch Dogs franchise. I've gone on record to say this. I just tweeted
The whole franchise.
I just,
That's
well,
bold.
hold on. We'll get to number 3. I'll tell you about 3 in a second. I just tweeted today that I wish they would remake Watch Dogs 1. Because I think that would be fantastic. I would enjoy that. Watch Dogs 2 is genuinely one of my favorite last gen games to come out for some reason. There's just something about
The
the
second
world.
one is actually good.
It's a good game.
Yeah, no, it
There's a
genuinely
lot
is.
going on.
I've played the first 2. I have not. This is brutal. I have not played Legion, but
I have not played Legion either. I will never play Legion. Unless it is purchased for me. I would never put money on Legion ever in my life.
Is that a Christmas gift
Oh,
idea?
don't do that. Don't do that. No, I would never. I would never put my own money on Legion. But Watch Dogs 2 is like really like one of my favorite games from like the PS4 kind of Xbox One era. So I just kind of downloaded that and I was playing that. I was doing Uber driver missions.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, are you just messing around in the city, or are you doing actual missions?
Well, actually, the last mission I just did, I broke into Ubisoft San Francisco headquarters and I downloaded a pre E3 trailer for a game that I'm not sure if it was ever actually a game, but it said E3 underscore conf underscore version 3 or whatever.
Oh, it's the third version of Skull and Bones.
Oh, it could be. No, it was like some kind of space game. I'll have to look it up and see if it's a legitimate trailer or something. Like if they actually put something in. That'd be pretty cool if they did that. But that's what I've been playing.
Rest in peace, E3, by the way.
Oh, yeah. So sad.
That's awesome. You know what game I've also been playing is this game called The Finals. It was in beta in the summer, and then they dropped the actual game at the Game Awards. Like Shadow dropped it.
Yeah.
I would love to drop or play it with the three of us. It's really fun.
I just added it to my library yesterday, I think.
It's it's a sick game. It's genuinely one of the most fun shooters I've played in a while.
We'll give it a go. I'm not opposed.
Yeah, and it's not like a battle royale. It's much closer to I guess it's like a strange objective mode, but like all the environments are totally destructible. So you'll be like holding down an objective in a room. You know, you're on like the third floor, but then all of a sudden the people below you are shooting rockets and the floor is dropping out and the objective is coming down, and it's like, what is going on?
I like it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's
it's very cool game.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Cool.
Should we get into this then?
Let's get into it. We're gonna do our Nintendo year in reviews here. We'll do it kind of slide by slide together. Coleman, if you want to do your first slide here.
Do I ever? Give me one moment here so I can drag this over to my second. We'll do it like this. Okay. Yeah, so here is my year in review. Let's check out the first slide. First slide is just the first game that I played in 2023, which was Nintendo Switch Sports.
Interesting choice.
You know, I think we picked it up like literally on... Did we get it on New Year's Day?
Okay.
We might have went to Walmart on New Year's Day if it was open and picked up Nintendo Switch Sports.
I've got the oversized box for that right here, sitting right here.
Hey, actually. I've got that somewhere over in that room. With the leg strap.
Yeah, I've never used it in my life. Yeah. I never will.
They just threw in an extra from Ring Fit Adventures extra stock, obviously.
I would never play the soccer on that ever. I'd play bowling.
You don't want to play
that's it.
Fake Rocket League?
No, I would play bowling.
You don't play golf?
I haven't played the golf yet. Really? I haven't touched it.
We bought it for the golf, and you know what? It did not disappoint at all.
Wow. I haven't touched the golf.
The golf is fucking sick.
I'll have to pop it in for the golf then.
Mm-hmm. And the online is fun.
For golf?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's like a elimination style game. So it's like you're playing like 6 holes or whatever, but then like the people who are lower getting eliminated.
Oh.
It's really fun.
Well, that's like the bowling. You ever do the bowling online? The bowling is like a bowling tournament.
I've only played the golf.
I like the bowling tournament online. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You know what? Switch Sports gets a bad rap. We'll get to it. We'll talk about it. But
yeah, it gets a bad rap. It only deserves an okay rap.
Okay rap. I agree. Yeah. I would agree. Not worth full price, but it is okay.
Yeah.
What was your first game, Dylan?
My first game of 2023. You're gonna like to hear about this, and then you're gonna be saddened. It's Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yo.
Which I played for a couple hours, and I finished the tutorial, which I hated. And I did a little jerking around with my students, and then I didn't play it anymore.
Phrasing.
No, those are exactly the words I meant to use.
Bold.
Yeah, I played just a few hours, and then I never played it again, and I'm pretty sure I no longer own it, which is crazy because I did just purchase it this year, basically.
That's a heartbreaker.
Fire Emblem, just not for me. I can't do it.
That's fair. You know what? It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But
it's for you.
A shot. It is. It is for me.
Yeah.
Is it ever? Very cool. Okay, well, what's the next slide here? Let's check it out.
We got our
next
games
up.
played.
We've got Oh, how many games you played and your total hours. Don't look at this, Rachel. My girlfriend is right next to me, and I don't want her to see this. So, okay, first off, I'll start by saying I played 63 games on my Switch this year.
I got you beat by 2.
You got me beat by 2?
I got 65.
Interesting. I wonder what do you have like just random eShop games?
Yeah, tons.
Yeah.
And I'll boot them
me
up
too.
for
I've got
5
a few of
minutes.
those in there.
So many of these games are like I booted them for 5 minutes and I didn't actually play them. Because
Yeah.
I realized I didn't want to play
Curse
them.
of the $2 eShop games.
Yeah.
And then they just make your play times look totally fucked when people are looking. But I mean, the Switch will just do that naturally, so not a problem. Hours played. So I can confidently say I believe that in the Switch's 6th year of existence, this is the year that I got the most mileage out of my console.
Good to know.
There's a few reasons for that, I'm sure. Oh, I guess maybe that was... No, I'm thinking of 2022, because I was going to say we had our fire this year, so I was stuck playing a lot of handle. No, I just played my Switch a shit ton this year.
Yeah.
I have 760 total hours played on my Switch.
I have 656. I think Cam is closer to the 700 hour mark. So you might be closer around with Cam's number. They played a shit ton of Tears of the Kingdom, which really bumped their numbers up.
I got an easy 130 or 140 from Tears of the Kingdom. So there's a few games for sure that really inflate that number. Tears of the Kingdom for me being one. Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, I don't know. This thing might cover games that we played the most, so maybe I shouldn't spoil that. But
it could. I believe it does. In fact, actually.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
You betcha.
It does. Okay, we'll talk about it. I won't spoil anything then. But yeah, played a lot of games. Played a lot of games on my Switch this year.
Yeah, me too. In fact, that's.
I'm just looking at all the ones going by. There's some good ones here.
We've got the next slide here. I think we should do these least to most played.
Least to most. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just top 3 because it only shows 3. Yeah.
Okay.
We got 3 games here.
Okay, well, first up, I've got Fire Emblem Engage.
Okay.
Came out at the start of the year. Yep. I have 101 hours in it.
Jesus Christ, that's your least top 3?
That's my least. My least of the top 3.
Jesus.
And you know what? Like, if I'm gonna give a brief thought on the game,
sure.
Fire Emblem Engage. If you are someone who can get into a tactics RPG, it's I would say the best out there. I would even put it above Three Houses probably. Its story it doesn't compare to Three Houses, but the gameplay is on another level. There's one mission in particular in that game near the end that I think about it like on a very regular basis because it was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my number 3. What was your number 3, Dylan?
My number 3, coming in at 42 hours played, is Splatoon 3. And if I could just say a few words about Splatoon 3, fuck Splatoon 3 so much. Every time I play the game, I'm miserable. It makes me so unhappy. I get so angry every time I play it. My fiance tells me, they ask me, why are you playing Splatoon 3? And I say, because I love when I win Splatoon 3. And they say, but you never win Splatoon 3. And I say, shh, quiet. I will win this time, maybe.
The curse of an online multiplayer game.
It's the fucking worst. It's the worst every time. Every time there's a Splatfest, I sign up for a team and I play a single round, and that's it. Just so I could say I participated. And
you get to keep the shirt if
no,
you
don't.
Around.
You don't get to keep the shirt. I just want to be able to say I was there.
That's a heartbreaker, and I have a very similar thoughts about Splatoon 3. I love Splatoon, but I'm pretty sure the last time I played Splatoon 3, Rachel went, "We're not playing this anymore," because it was just so insanely frustrating.
Yeah,
you just feel like
it was so. And we were playing it with like 2 friends, so it was supposed to be a good time.
Yeah. And everyone's just pissed.
Because you're just getting bodied by people in Japan constantly
who play all day
playing the game
night
for a living. Yeah.
I should say I love Splatoon as a franchise. I love everything about it. I don't like playing it. It's the only thing.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
It's a really and I don't know what the skill-based matchmaking system is in that game, or if there is one, but they gotta tone that shit right down.
Yeah, Splatoon 2 is better for that, I have to say.
I think maybe there was just like at that point less of a player base who knew what the fuck was going
It
on.
could be, yeah.
At least when it first came out, which is when I got the most hours out of it. Okay. Um, moving on to the next game here. I've
Yeah,
got
what's your
Monster
number
Hunter
2?
Rise at my
All
number
right.
2 spot. At 125 hours played.
Wow.
Monster Hunter Rise. What a game. This is a game. This is my first time I got into a Monster Hunter game. And I got into a Monster Hunter
You
game. I
did.
mean, I really, really got a lot of mileage out of this game.
Yeah.
I still go back and play it on a pretty regular basis, and I will continue to go back and play it on a regular basis. It's the kind of game, too, where I just can't believe how well it runs on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's, like, incredible game. I fucking love Monster Hunter Rise, and I think it's the perfect jumping on point for that franchise.
I would agree.
Really nice, fun, arcadey, great movement. They added in that grapple hook that really adds a lot to the movement, and I love it.
Yeah. I picked up Monster Hunter Rise on the promise that we would play together, and I never did.
And where's our hunt? Why
We never did it.
They hunt yet?
What?
I still want it.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that.
Christmas hunt
still.
instead. We'll do
We
a
can
Christmas hunt.
hunt.
We're gonna hunt some reindeer.
Yeah. Cam will make some chili. We'll come over. We'll do a Christmas hunt.
Yeah. That's what I'm with the maple syrup.
That's right, with the maple
The maple syrup chili
and the cocoa powder. Don't forget cocoa powder in there as well.
Oh,
We're not gonna get on the
that's
chili
just-
talk.
You're
We'll go
living in
forever.
chaos.
It's the best
like Buddy
chili
the
you'll ever
Elf.
have. I'm just telling you.
It's Buddy the Elf making spaghetti.
Oh, I've had that spaghetti before. I've done spaghetti like that before.
God,
and I liked
the
it.
M&Ms.
And the Pop Tarts.
You made that?
I did it before. I can do it again.
I forgot about that.
It's the best.
Oh no.
Coming in at number 2 here for me, at 83 hours, we have The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Hey.
What's there to say about Tears of the Kingdom? So much that I almost don't want to get into it yet, because we will get into it eventually. But deserved of the Game of the Year title, which did it win that? I don't think it won that.
It did not. Baldur's Gate 3
Baldur's
won
Gate
that.
3. But I do think Tears of the Kingdom is almost as deserving as Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Easy to sink 80 hours. I'm only halfway through the game at 80 hours.
Yeah.
So it's what I have to go back to it.
I mean, spoiler alert, that's going to be my number 1 most played game. I have a
course.
lot of thoughts on Tears of the Kingdom as
How
well.
many hours?
Let's check it out. My number 1, Tears of the Kingdom, at 175 hours played.
Damn.
So I almost dumped 200 hours into this game this year. And I haven't gotten every shrine yet, and I have maybe 400 Korok seeds.
Outrageous.
I have a lot of thoughts on Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep.
Like 99% of them are positive, and like 1% of them are like, I wish it was a different map.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I think that they did a great job with it, it's by the 175 hour mark, I was like, there's a reason I haven't finished every shrine yet.
Right.
Because I got burnt out
Yeah.
from exploring areas I've been. By the way, did you see Aonuma's like outrageous comments recently?
I've heard whispers of them. I haven't seen them directly. But things about always open world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was asked in an interview, you know, can we expect to see any more linear Zelda games? And he basically went, why the fuck would you ever want that? I guess nostalgia is a powerful thing. And like, that's the exact quote, which is just...
It's blind. It's blind.
I love Aonuma, to be clear.
Yeah.
I think that of the Nintendo developers, he's the one who's actually taken feedback to heart. He's listened to the fans. He's fantastic. I mean, Zelda's basically never had a miss.
Yeah.
So, but for him to say that, I'm just like, what are you doing, man? You almost wonder if that comes down from the suits at Nintendo saying, no, we're never doing that again because the new ones are selling so well.
I think you're onto something. I think that's exactly what it is these are the biggest Zelda games. They've sold the most. They're the most successful. You cannot do what you were doing before, which is unfortunate. That doesn't dishearten me as much, just because I think the idea of it not non-linear doesn't mean it has to be or it can't be like an open world. You can have a linear game in an open world, but
God of War.
Yeah, I mean God of War is phenomenal. God of War Ragnarok.
Like semi-open world, right? I mean,
Yeah, you can't go everywhere. Things are story based, but there is like
Yeah.
an open area that you can kind of go around and explore.
Mm-hmm.
Both 2018 and Ragnarok did that. Ragnarok did
strike
it
a perfect
more.
balance of that.
Yeah, and it's
Definitely.
phenomenal. And God of War, Ragnarok especially, one of the greatest games of the last few years, in my opinion. I haven't even beaten it yet, but I want to now that the Valhalla DLC's out.
Oh, I gotta jump into
I
that.
want to jump in. I want to try it out. But yeah, I think there's a balance there that can be met, and the Nintendo suits just need to fuck off and let people make the games they want to make.
There's another aspect to the comments that are a little bit more concerning, maybe.
Yeah.
He also said that he feels like the dungeons that they did in Tears of the Kingdom were exactly what fans wanted, and that they solved the dungeon issue.
No.
They're better.
They're better than Breath of the Wild, but that's like saying a fucking lunch meat is better than dollar store steak. I don't know, or the other way around, or something. I don't know. That's not saying much. It's just
it's not saying much. It's the dungeons aren't that great. I mean, the best part of the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom, and maybe we're getting too much into it here, but for me, it's actually getting to the dungeons is the most exciting part. Like especially the Wind Temple. Like the climb up to the Wind
that
Temple
was fun.
One of the coolest moments I've had in 2023 gaming. Yeah. And then the boss fight in that dungeon too, like
very
almost brought
cool.
me to tears. I
was
was very moved.
Cool. Yeah,
it was awesome. But yeah,
no,
it's a step in the right direction, but it's a concerning comment to say the least.
Yeah, that is a concern.
What's your number one game, Dylan?
My number one game.
I think I know what it might be.
Let me give you my hours count. 348 hours. Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Holy,
that is half of my playtime. More than half of my playtime is New Horizons, the game in the franchise which I love, the game that I hate the most. New Horizons comes in at number one with over half of my yearly playtime. That's just something else. It just goes to show, as much as I have to criticize about this fucking game, and there's so much I have to criticize about it. We'll have to do a full episode one day where I just list off all my complaints about the game. I can still milk 350 hours out of it in a year. That's an hour a day for the entire year, basically.
When you put it like that,
it's outrageous. We already talked about New Horizons. Like I said, we will talk about New Horizons in the future. We're gonna have to, because I've been building out huge complaint thread.
Animal Crossing
retrospective, big retrospective,
the whole series.
Yeah, easy, no problem.
And then I'll give you my thoughts as an outsider.
Yeah,
looking in.
Yeah, that's how I spent my time this year. Is half my days.
I'm well spent. It sounds like time well spent until you tell me that that's your least favorite Animal Crossing game.
Yeah.
And I go,
maybe that's an exaggeration, least favorite, because like there are things about other games that I don't love. I guess City Folk doesn't really make the cut because I've barely played it in my life.
That's fair. God, my webcam's unfocused again.
Fucking webcam.
If you were on a desert island and you could only pick one Animal Crossing game, which one are you picking?
New Leaf.
Is it New Horizons?
No, it's New Leaf.
New Leaf.
I'm already on a desert island. What the fuck do I want to play a game about one for?
Then explain to me why New Leaf isn't your game that you have 400 hours in this year.
Because I have 2,000 hours in New Leaf over the course of the last decade. I'm done.
That's a good point. Okay. You're retired. You're not the maker of New Leaf anymore.
No, I've moved on. I'm the new Tortimer. I'm out. I got my own vacation island now. You come down and we'll play games.
Okay. You know what?
Until they nix me.
Let's move on to the next part here.
Let's do it.
My gaming trends. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is actually interesting to me. I guess action makes up 50% essentially. 46% of my playtime is with action games.
I'm a little confused by these sections here because, again, half of my playtime went towards Animal Crossing this year, right? which I don't know. I don't know how they decide to categorize things because it says number 6, 1% construction and management. What is Animal Crossing if not construction and management? My number 1 is character driven at 38%. Which doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make
to
any
me.
sense.
It
If
makes
you
no
played
sense
half
to
your
me.
time in one game, then
Yeah.
one of the categories should make up half of that.
Yeah, what is the category for action for construction and management? What is the category for Animal Crossing if not construction and management? Are we talking
Very bizarre.
Is it character driven? Do they categorize it as character driven? I suppose there's an argument for that, but
Tom Nook, he's got that big personality, you know?
Yeah.
He's got that big personality.
Two big ones.
I don't know. That is strange. Yeah, this section is kind of weird. You know, I'll run down the other ones here. Adventure make up 25% of my playtime.
Yeah.
Role playing makes up 17. This is the one that really weirds me out. Strategy makes up 9%. But I feel like Fire Emblem Engage makes up more than 10% of my playtime this year.
Yeah. Maybe
So
it's not
that's a little
playtime.
bizarre.
Maybe it's not playtime so much as it's
This is your
calculated by the
trends.
amount of games, like the kinds of games you
You
played.
open. Oh,
Right?
that
Maybe
makes
it's not,
sense. Yeah,
because that
You know
makes
what? I
more
think you're
sense.
right. That does make more sense because it is your trends. It's not like your time spent.
It's just like, why would they calculate it that way?
Very
It seems
strange.
like the
I
wrong
agree.
way to calculate such a thing.
Yeah, and then I have shooting at 2% and party at 1%. What are your
I have
other 5?
of course that one I have character driven at 38. Number 2 is action at 28.
Whoa!
Number 3 is adventure at 17. Shooting is 10%. Role playing.
What shooters were you playing on the Switch this
I
year?
don't fucking know. I don't
What?
know.
10% of your trends were
What
shooters.
could I have been playing? I don't know what I could have been playing of shooters. Doom?
Metroid? Rachel
I
makes
guess
a good point.
you know what? If Metroid would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does make sense. I think Rachel's right.
Yeah. Role playing at number 5.
Like action number 1
Zelda.
at Zelda.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, number 6, construction and management. Number 1%. Very
Very
strange.
bizarre how they break that down. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about this tab.
No.
Next one, my most played month was May, where I played 173 hours. So that's
Of Zelda.
all Zelda.
Yeah,
So I
of course.
played basically my entire playtime of Zelda must have been in May.
Yeah. You probably played a little
When
bit
did
in
it come
June.
out? It came out May.
It came out
12th?
in May 13th or 15th? May 15th. May 15th, I think.
I mean, I took time
13th.
off work for that game. Like,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. I started a new job days after it came out, so
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
yeah. Yeah, my most played month was August with 127 hours played.
Okay.
I'm just going to scroll over to August and tell you what I was playing in August. It was Animal Crossing. 123 of my 127 hours played was Animal Crossing.
Holy.
I played every single day that month. 31 days.
It's
it
crazy.
says.
Interesting. Okay, so how are we doing this here? Let's see. What goes next? It goes May 173 monthly playtime. Okay, well let's hear your monthly playtime, Dylan.
Okay,
from
let's hear it.
January to November.
January we got 6 hours. February we got 38. March 95.
Okay.
April we got 22 hours. Here's a big one. May 111 hours. That's all going to be Zelda. June 48 hours. July 103 hours. August 127. We got September at 37. October only 5 hours. And November
Interesting.
58 hours in November.
See, my playtime breakdown is much different from yours because all of my playtime comes in the first half of the year, essentially.
Yeah.
So in January, I've got 68 hours.
Wow.
February, I've got 133 hours.
Damn.
March, 141.
Wow.
April, 60. May, 173.
Wow.
June, 79. July, 45. August, I have 15. And then we drop off a cliff here.
Yeah.
September, 3 hours. October, 3 hours. And November, 33 hours. And I'm trying to think what I played in November on the Switch. Mario Wonder, I played.
Sure.
But what else came out in November?
What else did? I don't know of anything that came
trying
out in
to think.
November.
I still got, but yeah. So it's I played a lot of Switch this year. Is what I'm starting to realize when I'm
Yeah.
looking at this.
No kidding.
Like a lot.
My PlayStation review was like pathetic.
Scroll through.
Mm-hmm. Oh, oops. Sorry. What was that, Dylan?
My PlayStation review was pathetic.
Are we gonna talk about that too?
No, because mine is not worth looking at.
That's fair. What was yours? We might have talked about this already. Actually,
I don't even remember. It was completely unmemorable. It was like
My-
the majority of my playtime. It was at the start of the year I played Ragnarok, and at the end of the year it was
Right.
Spider-Man, and that was it.
Yeah, my PlayStation 1 is. I've played a lot of games this year. Is what I'm starting to realize.
Yeah.
Maybe my New Year's resolution next year should be tone it down just a little bit.
No,
Which I will. I'm going to be going back to school, and
That's true.
I'm working this new job. I've been playing less, maybe, but I played a lot of games this year. Scrolling through this thing here, so that was monthly. January. Oh, it's for every month here.
Yeah, it
so
just
like
shows your
January
most
and
played game.
February. Yeah, January, February, I played Fire Emblem basically exclusively. 68 hours in February and 32 in January. Came out at the end of January, I think. Again, Fire Emblem Engage is just like an unbelievably great strategy game.
yeah,
And the graphics in it also are like so much better than Three Houses. It's kind of crazy. But yeah. Well, I guess I can go see what I played in November because I am curious.
yeah. You might as well.
Super Mario RPG.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I played
of
in November.
course.
Right.
It's so unmemorable.
And Mario Wonder. So those two games made up the bulk of my November playtime, I believe.
I just want to mention here, March, June, July, August, September, October. Those months were all dominated by Animal Crossing.
Classic.
Top game. And then for some reason in April I played 5 hours of Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
For some reason I don't remember. And my
'Cause it's a
most
great
played game, I played 6 whole hours of video games in January, and it was Fire Emblem.
You played 6 hours of Fire Emblem.
It says I only played 2 hours of Fire Emblem. But yeah, apparently it was the best
your
one.
January playtime.
Yeah, it was the best one I played, I guess.
Oh man. Fire Emblem Three Houses is a great game, but I understand that it's not for everybody.
I think the story just wasn't like, I'm not a story person.
It takes a while too.
So yeah, I guess that's the
Yeah.
end of the wrap. It just asked what's your favorite game this year. I voted Metroid Dread, in fact.
I believe I voted Zelda.
You know,
I do
that's fair.
believe.
That's a fair vote.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought that there was like it showed you like your like streak of games or whatever. I thought like
Maybe in
this
previous years. I'm pouring some water.
or like this is like you played every day this month. Oh, it does. It does this on the monthly thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of days where I played like 31 days in March.
Yeah.
31 days in May, 28 days in June. Like I was gaming.
It's
I
all
was
Monster
gaming
Hunter.
this year. It was Monster Hunter and Zelda.
Yeah.
I was gaming out. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing next year's and seeing what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, Switch 2?
Yeah,
Right?
that would be great.
Maybe
That would be
Switch
great.
2?
We're praying and hoping.
Because I can't see myself playing nearly as much on the Switch next year. It just doesn't
Well,
have the lineup that this year had.
I'm
for
waiting.
me.
You know, you want to talk about that? Luigi's Mansion 2 coming out. Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door coming out. That's all I care about.
You're not
so
really
far.
cranking out, 100 hours of both those games though. That's like you're getting
No.
10 from Luigi's Mansion and like 30 from Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
So-
But then I'm going to play another 350 hours of Animal Crossing, so.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
I mean-
when they don't update the game.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing,
Yeah.
but I'm sure I'll be doing something.
Great.
All right, do we want to get into our games?
Let's do it.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
I'll let you take the lead on this one, Dylan, since I
Sure.
took the lead on
All right, so the first
On
one, getting right into it. First one I've got here is Eastward.
Oh, come on.
There we
Show
go.
me the inside box art. I gotta
show you.
see it. What does it look like?
Are you ready?
Come on, girl.
Are you ready? Get hyped.
Don't. No!
It's fucking empty! It's completely empty.
On the console, debatably, like one of the best looking games.
Yeah.
That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah. This came with stickers, which I've all used. I've used up all the stickers. I think that's all it came with. There's a cartridge. This case is empty because I keep this. I was playing it fairly recently.
That's good.
Yeah, I was playing it fairly recently, so I the cartridge is in my little travel case. What do I have to say about this? Of course, gorgeous art style. It's phenomenal. There's a very fun little like cooking mechanic, which I really like. You
Very
mix
Breath
up,
of the Wild.
yeah,
I've heard.
it is. It is very similar to Breath of the Wild, actually. I love the setting. I really like it's post-apocalyptic, right? So the world's ended, but we're all back, baby. We are so back in Eastward. They're coming out with this epic new like farming DLC, which I can't wait to jump into.
That is awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I wish that like we got that with Fallout. Like game ends happily ever after, and then you get to play the happily ever after. That's freaking the best.
I know.
Like every game should have that. I love that.
Yeah, fun. I don't mind the combat.
What is it? Is it turn-based?
It's not turn-based. It's all action.
Okay.
You got the main guy that's kind of like a Joel situation from The Last of Us. He's got the frying pan you smack with. You can hit bombs around. Sam's got, I think that was her name, Sam. She does like cyanitic powers or some shit with her mind. She's blasting
PK fire.
Yeah,
PK flash,
very.
yeah.
I mean, very Earthbound kind of inspired for sure. Yeah, the art style is unreal. This game, I do adore this game. I will say, there's a lot of just walking around to get from one place to the next, and it starts to feel kind of pointless. Like they could have cut out 1,000 corridors, and there would still be 3 corridors to walk through. That felt like they had purpose. Because a lot of what you're walking through doesn't feel necessary. Like the last time I picked it up and booted it up, I was walking through like this cave system. I'm not even out from under the ground yet. I was walking through this cave system, and there were like 1,000 caves with all like similar puzzles. And you could have cut out half of them, and it would have been just as meaningful, but it would have felt like it respected my time more.
Right.
So I will say that about it, but I'm not super far into it. So I do really want to play more of it. I picked it up a long time ago. It was on sale. I do want to play more of it. Hopefully soon. Because I want to get to that DLC. I like that DLC that's coming out.
I've never played the game, but I've heard.
I recommend it.
I've heard similar complaints to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I've also heard great things. Actually, from one of our favorite fellow content creators, Wood of Beat 'em Ups, the Shill. He's a big fan of Eastward, so
I don't want to be associated with that.
You don't want to be associated.
I don't want to
with
be
the
associated.
Nintendo podcast. Maybe we could be guests. Maybe we could be the new hosts of the Nintendo podcast. They could hand over the rights to us.
To our small handful of viewers and maybe future viewers, just so you're aware, this podcast exists because the Nintendo podcast is atrocious, horrible.
Fucking horrible.
Horrible podcast, thanks to yours truly, Woodhawk, of Australian fame. That motherfucker is like the worst person in the community. I can't fucking stand him. Licking completionist asshole. He's the fucking worst. We hate him so much.
Preach it.
Amen, baby.
Guy.
Fuck that guy.
Bob is okay. The other guy's okay.
He's fine. I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason
totally
he's leaving the podcast.
You know, and I'm starting to realize that I think you're right. I think that maybe they don't get along very well.
Yeah, I think you're right as well.
And I mean, we see that in that show. This isn't going to be a
no.
episode.
We'll have one. Yeah.
We could talk about that. We could be showing clips. We could be showing clips of when they did the sound effect guessing. And
oh my god, we have to do that someday. Sound effect guessing.
That sounds great. Yeah, I would. Hey, I'd be super into that. I think I'd do okay.
We did it that one time, and we did. Yeah, all right.
We did in Sleep Country.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
But that's
Okay.
just a little aside. What do you got there?
Well, everyone's gonna love this one. It's Skyrim.
Boo!
The lighting makes it so glary, but
Yeah.
it is Skyrim. This is not the special edition or whatever.
No.
Does have inside box art.
Amazing. Blessed.
Blessed.
God bless.
Bethesda out here doing good shit. Also, the Hylian shield.
That's epic. They put
That is
Zelda mods
epic.
into the game.
And a Zelda amiibo, you get the Champion's Tunic, you get the Master Sword, and the Hylian shield.
Yeah, you do.
This is a totally like acceptable port of Skyrim.
Yep. Fully agree.
It's fine. It's the kind of game too that sorry, I'm trying to fix my webcam right now. This is a nightmare for me. It's not even fixing. Like it's just
It's okay.
I will next time. I will download it. Well, I have that downloaded. Yeah. God damn it. Anyway, okay, we fixed it.
There you
It
go.
heard me. It's a totally acceptable port of Skyrim, and on top of that, actually, I have nothing else to really say about it. I keep it in my Switch case at all times, basically. Because if I'm ever stranded somewhere, Skyrim would be one of the games that I'm like, I would like to have that.
Yeah.
It hasn't aged well. I think that we can all agree that Skyrim has aged kind of like milk at this point.
Yeah.
Very much like Fallout 3, which
Yeah.
has also aged horribly.
It's a Bethesda RPG plagued with invincible NPCs. What the fuck you want that for?
It's not as egregious as Starfield, I hear, though.
No, oh god, no.
I hear
Fuck
Starfield's
no.
worse.
It is. Starfield's so much worse. I don't own Skyrim for the Switch. I did at one point. My birthday, many years ago, it would have been like 2017 around my birthday. Right after Skyrim came out on the Switch, Best Buy had a 50% off sale on it, brand new. So I went and I picked it up back then. But I sold it to a friend because I got a PC, and why would I ever play Skyrim on a Switch when I have a PC?
The Master Sword!
The mods!
Alien Shield!
I could just mod those in.
It's not the same! It's not official!
I mean, it's not a bad game to have on Switch. Skyrim is surprisingly a really great, like, just pop in and play kind of game.
It is.
I mean, you can get tons of time out of Skyrim, no problem. But I mean, I know I have hundreds of hours in Skyrim. It's just one of those games. It's junk food. Jump in and do whatever. But I don't have anything to say about Skyrim that people haven't said 1,000 times in the last 12 years it's been out now.
Yeah.
It can fuck off for all I care. I hate Skyrim now. It's too old.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Yep.
But I wasn't sick of it when the Switch first came out, and
I agree.
I was excited to have a AAA game on a Nintendo platform because it was always my dream to have Skyrim on the Wii U. I always wanted Skyrim on the Wii U. I wanted that map on the gamepad.
That would have been cool.
That would be awesome.
That would have been cool.
And so we got it on the Switch, and yeah. Oh, don't get the DLC, by the way. If anybody is watching this and they're thinking about picking up Skyrim, it actually hampers the performance by like.
Does it really?
A significant margin, yeah.
Wow.
Like the one that adds fishing or whatever and the better water textures.
And it's
Do not get that on the Switch version.
The fishing is
you're
so
going to be
bad.
losing like 10 frames a second if you pick that up. And it's already a 30 FPS game, so don't pick that up.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't buy Switch. Don't buy Skyrim on Switch in 2023 and beyond.
Well, you can get Skyrim if you find it for a good deal.
Yeah, don't pay. I mean, it's still full price. Don't fucking pay. Don't pay full price for Skyrim on Switch in 2024 and beyond.
Facts. This is true.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Unless you really want the Master Sword and the Hylian
Don't
Shield.
do it. Don't do it.
Unless you really, really
Don't
want
do
the
it.
Master Sword
Don't
and the
do
Hylian
it.
Shield. And the Champion's Tunic.
Ugh, it's not even iconic. I mean, maybe it is now. Maybe it is now.
It'll get there.
But I mean, it could have been like a green tunic situation. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna pull two games here. I'm gonna pull two games here. I got Final Fantasy 10-2 HD remaster, and I got Final Fantasy The Zodiac Age.
I've got that one somewhere in here. I don't have 10 and 10-2, but I do have Zodiac Age.
10 and 10-2. 10-2 is not on cart. 10 is. I believe.
The worst.
I believe is how that happened. no inside cover. We do have a pamphlet of sorts here for Chocobo. Oh my god, this is like a big, like, fold out. Everything that is Final Fantasy on the Switch at the time of this release.
It's not on the cart, really? Because, like, where's the download code?
Yep, download code is right in there. I've already downloaded it. Long time ago. It has 10.2 and the 10.2 last mission business in there. I dropped this little pamphlet. Yeah, not on cart. Only 10 is on the cart. And what do we have in here? Zodiac Age. Oh, wow. Reversible cover. You love to see that. That's looking real good. One thing,
that is actually a nicer cover.
It's really nice, actually. And it's got like a full, like a proper spine and everything. That's good to have.
Yeah.
I haven't played Zodiac Age, so I won't talk much about it. But I will say I love that, like, kind of classic Final Fantasy art style. So that's nice to see in there. At least for 12. 12 has like a really nice art style that I appreciate. Now I did play about 10 hours or so of 10 back in the day, a few years ago. And I'll say the combat is like, it's done very well. I really like the combat in here. It can be kind of brainless. It's not it's another click to attack, click to attack, click to attack. Okay, the fight's done. It's pretty brainless, but it's not awful. It's that ATB situation, active time battle situation. I think maybe it's not actually. Thinking back, it might not be. I don't remember. It's been many years, and I haven't played it since. Because I hate the setting and the aesthetics and the character designs. I hate so much. I don't even care about the shitty laugh. The shitty laugh, that's fine. He's in. It's a goofy scene. He's being goofy. He laughed in a goofy way. That's,
he did.
That's all the power to him.
Iconic.
When I play Final Fantasy, I want fantasy. And this is weird, like, space age kind of. It's got like, it's very like futuristic, but it's also very archaic, and people live in huts, but there's mechanical things, and I don't mind when you mix the mechanical stuff with like the fantasy stuff, but this isn't really fantasy stuff in here.
Yeah.
It's a weird, different kind of theming. So it made it difficult to get through, so I never actually finished it. I played about 10 hours, I think.
And I have it on the Vita. I haven't played it, though.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But,
it's great. Yeah. I mean, having it on the Vita is cool. Having anything on the Vita nowadays is cool.
Isn't it? You know what I realized? I have Persona 4 on the Vita, and it's still sealed. I've never opened it.
Wow.
Yeah. I wonder how much
you can't open it now. I know you were saying you didn't want Persona on anything else.
I'll pick it up on the Switch when it comes out. I'll pick it up on the Switch. So,
good.
Okay, well, moving on to the next game here, we have one. This was a Christmas gift from my lovely girlfriend a few years ago, and it's one of my favorite games ever. And it's Enter the Gungeon.
Very nice.
Enter the Gungeon. It's got some really cool inside box art here. You know, we got the beholster. The Gungeoneers are down there.
Beautiful.
We got the bullet with the crown.
Yep.
Or no, it's like a Viking helmet there. And then a couple little, like, this is like a bullet
cool
that you
inserts.
can make. And like a soundtrack.
You use the stickers?
No. This is it's actually like you make it. It's like
I know.
It makes into a bullet kit.
I know, but stickers are supposed to come with that. I got stickers with mine.
This was pre-owned, so it might not have the stickers
okay.
anymore. Yeah.
This is one that I have.
I think it was.
This is one that I do have physically.
I got that brand new.
Really? It might be missing the stickers then. That's okay. Unless they're in there. They could be in there.
I have this one, Enter the Gungeon. Physically, I have the same version. It's not in these games. I keep it with my... There's a stack right there behind me for those watching. That's my stack of Special Reserve games. And because that version of Enter the Gungeon is a Special Reserve release, it is up with the Special Reserve stack, which I was saving for a separate... being its own thing type of situation. So
right. I got my special reserves in my regular stack.
Gotcha.
So they will show up at some point or another. I don't have that many of them though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enter the Gungeon. They actually just put out a version with Enter and Exit the Gungeon.
They did, yeah.
And I definitely will be picking that up.
Yeah.
100%. So, if you haven't played Enter the Gungeon, play it. It's the second best, probably the second best action roguelike out there, I would say. It's fantastic.
It's my number one. Anyone who's not new to my Twitch channel, who could possibly be watching, they know Enter the Gungeon because that was a mainstay on the channel for a while back there. Enter the Gungeon was my longest running series of live streams. Just like, what a special treat that game is. There's no other game out there that scratches the itch that I get for a roguelike the way that Enter the Gungeon does. Just, oh my goodness, such a special game to me. I love that game the way you love Isaac.
It just doesn't have like I mean I've adore Gungeon.
Of course.
It's just missing the replayability that Isaac has. That's if it had the replayability, it would be right up there, but it doesn't quite have it.
Yeah.
I mean I fucking adore the game though.
Hopefully we get a Gungeon 2 in the future.
Yeah, they've said they're never going to do it though, which is a devastating heartbreak.
Yeah. Big shame.
Mm-hmm.
But we love Gungeon. I got the stickers all over my computer from my physical. Yeah. Gungeon's the fucking best.
Yes.
Moving on. Now this is a very special game near and dear to both our hearts, and I do see yours as a big red thumb sticking out there. We got Hollow Knight. Oh my god. You got the special edition there.
There
Collector's
it is.
Edition.
Collector's Edition.
Boom. Oh my god, everything about Hollow Knight is so beautiful and perfect. Instruction manual. Are you kidding me? Here we go. This is why we're called Instruction Book Club here. Oh my god, fully colored.
Let's go.
Boom. You love to see it. We've even got a fan gamer coupon code in there.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yep, Hollow Knight. It's the best Metroidvania out there. There's nothing better than it.
No.
It is
the only thing
the best.
I think the only Metroidvania I'd put above it would be Metroid Dread, for me personally.
That's fair.
But Hollow Knight is just so fantastic. It's so gorgeous. The soundtrack is so good. The world design is so good. The character design is so good.
It's the only game. It's the only 2D game that can even come remotely close to From Software when it comes to boss design.
Yeah.
It is, every boss in that game is so good, and then you get to a boss like Nightmare King Grim, or at the end of the game, the Radiance, and it's like it pushes you to your limits in a way that only FromSoft knows how to do, and apparently Team Cherry.
Yep.
I think that I love that game. It's a special game. And there's a reason I got the collector's edition, and we have a regular as well.
And you got the vinyl soundtrack on vinyl.
We have like all the freaking vinyls. There's like 3 of them or something, but it's
Gorgeous.
We don't have the piano one. There's one that's like all piano medleys. We don't have that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, X-Pro Hollow Knight. I was gonna say X-Pro Fortnite player.
Yeah, exactly.
X-Pro Hollow Knight player. I mean, I remember overlooking Hollow Knight back in the day. I would see it on the shelf and I go, ugh, that's not looking good. I don't like the look of these graphics. But
the hand drawn.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna be rough. Like when we were talking about last time. God, what's that game called? Bug Fables. We were talking about Bug Fables. I was expecting Hollow Knight to look like Bug Fables. Yeah. Is right. But no, Hollow Knight is what Bug Fables should look like. It's so gorgeous, and it plays so well. Everything about it is perfect. Yeah.
It's like...
Oh, you've gone dark in terms of sound. I said it again. Oh,
what?
I can hear you again. You went. Okay. You muted.
Weird. I wonder why.
Maybe you need new cable.
Maybe my cord's screwed up or something. But I would say Hollow Knight's like one of the... If there's like pillars of like the best indie games, it's like Celeste, Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Isaac. It's this other one. There's probably one or two other ones I'm forgetting, but
Yeah.
those are like the big ones. Stardew
Yep.
would be one.
For sure.
Um,
Cuphead.
yeah, Cuphead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those would be like the
Undertale.
the pinnacles of the indie. When you're trying to get someone into indie games, maybe they've only played AAA. Those are the ones you're gonna probably point.
Absolutely. Oh, you're silent again. I can't hear you again. Nothing. Can't hear you.
That cord is
Oh,
all.
there we go. Nope. It was working for a second. Seems to be a cord issue.
I don't have another.
There we go. Nope. It worked every time you turn it down, like you turn the mic like that, it goes dead. No. Technical difficulties. It's fucking no mini USB. Oh, I can hear you off of something. I can hear you off the webcam, I think.
It's never been an issue. Oh, you can hear me from the
Yeah,
webcam?
I think I can.
Uh,
Oh, I can hear you.
okay.
Do you sound good now?
Now we're gonna try and turn the microphone.
Oh,
That's gonna.
there we go. That works.
Oh,
I can hear you.
My lovely girlfriend has saved the day. I'm gonna have to get a
So
USB
now it's on
cable. Yeah,
Fucking mini USB sucks ass.
I know. Yeah, of course. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Hollow Knight, one of the
whatever.
best. Pillars of
amazing,
Indie.
yeah.
Pillars of Indie.
Pillars of Indie. It's
That's
amazing. Speaking of Pillars of Indie, this is
Uh-oh.
not an indie game. This is
Ooh,
Final
ooh.
Fantasy, the Pixel Collection.
Wow.
It's Final Fantasy 1 through, is it 6? Yeah, 1 through 6. The inside box art is just
that's fun.
amazing.
I like that.
It's really great. Now, I love JRPGs, but I would not call myself a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah.
Besides a handful of Final Fantasy. I've played through Final Fantasy 6. I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I've played through Final Fantasy 7 because it's kind of one of those games that when you're growing up and you're trying to get into games, you hear a lot of people talk about Final Fantasy 7. They say you got to play Final Fantasy 7. So I played through Final Fantasy 7 and Crisis Core. I had a friend at Mini U Summer Camp,
Wow.
which was a local summer camp that I went to, and he had a PSP and he had Final Fantasy Crisis Core. And I said, "Can I borrow that from you?" And he was kind enough to let me borrow it, and that's how I played through Crisis Core over
Wow.
the span of like 2 weeks. My opinions on and I played through Final Fantasy 15, which is maybe more of the black sheep of the franchise.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a strange one, but it was good. Final Fantasy games they're great. I mean,
Yeah.
they're classics for a reason, right?
Yeah.
They're not something that maybe I feel a huge drive to play a lot of the time. Besides Final Fantasy 6, as soon as I started Final Fantasy 6, I couldn't put it down, and I played through it like 3 times since my first playthrough when I was like 11 or whatever. I love Final Fantasy 6. I think it has one of the best intros to any game ever as well. Play Final Fantasy 6 if you're out there and you have any interest in JRPGs. But yeah, this is a heartbreaking thing about this is that it doesn't have an ESRB rating.
Yeah. Asian
and
version.
They did have a version with an ESRB rating, but it was only up for sale for like 5 minutes, and that's not even an exaggeration.
Yeah. Right from
it's
the Square Enix store, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And there's like none in existence as far as I can tell. There's only a handful. So those are going to be really valuable one day. But this is just kind of it was one that I'm like I got to own this because it's at this point you can get almost every Final Fantasy game on the Switch in one form or another.
Let me think.
Minus 13. There's no way to get 13.
Yeah. No,
and
14 because that's online.
Well, 14, yeah, and then 15 you can only get the Pocket Edition.
Yeah, which I will never play.
No, honestly, 15's not even worth your time. Non-Pocket Edition, in my opinion, it's just okay.
Drive around in the car with the boys.
Yeah, it has some. Listen, I played through all the. There's a point in 15. Every Final Fantasy in the modern era does this. When all of a sudden the game goes from being pretty freaking awesome to being a game where you're wandering through hallways, slowly defeating enemies, and they've taken away all your cool abilities, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah. Final Fantasy.
This Pixel Collection, what's it called? Pixel Collection, Pixel Remaster.
Pixel Remaster Collection.
Now, this is one that I would love to add to my collection one day. As long as it, drops in price a little bit. It's also one of those Square Enix releases where they felt the need to like fuck with the original game, the original games, to do something. They could have just gone with the pixel fonts, which I think they've added in now for at least some of the games where you can change the font to be the original pixel fonts.
I heard about that actually. They put a patch through.
Yeah, but like the first couple games, 1, 2, and maybe even 3, I think, were originally NES games in Japan. And when I was looking into this Pixel Remaster collection, I was really thinking and hoping that 1, 2, and maybe 3 would be those original NES versions, because I want to play those in their original NES form, and they're not. And I don't like that. They're like the North American ports.
Is that Mystic Quest? Is Mystic Quest
no.
the North American first
Mystic
one?
Quest is its own game. Mystic Quest it's its own game entirely.
Okay.
Which is not on there. I guess that's one you can't play on Switch yet, is Mystic Quest.
Yeah, Mystic Quest, exactly.
Why would you want to?
Oh, and where the fuck is Final Fantasy Tactics, by the way?
Yeah, let's get some Tactics on the Switch.
I would buy that in an instant.
Yeah.
That would be a buy and play through immediately. But where is it?
Bummer.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, classic Final Fantasy, those first 6 games are like really, they're treats for someone who loves like classic fantasy RPGs.
Yeah.
Very special. Even as
play
someone
Final
who
Fantasy
like, didn't play
6,
them.
everybody,
6,
please.
yeah, play 6. It's fantastic.
It really is. And it's not too long. That's the other thing that's nice about Final Fantasy 6. You can get through it in like 30, 40 hours, which is still pretty long, I guess. But
I'm going to run for a quick bathroom break.
Sounds good.
Because I've drank... this was full, and now it's not full. So I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll move on to our next one.
Oh, good. I'll just move on to... I'll just talk about Fire Emblem Engage while you're gone. Fire Emblem Engage. This game is so good. I played through Fire Emblem Engage this year. What a special game. The story in it is horrible. Basically, like, shouldn't even exist because it's just so bad. They would have been better off just, like, pointing you in a direction and saying, go, and that's the story. But the gameplay is so unbelievably good. And the way that they kind of tie in aspects of Three Houses that people liked. In Three Houses, you have the monastery aspect of the game, and then in the second half, it's still the monastery. But they're able to kind of keep that while also making it a little more optional, making it something called the Somnial, where instead of every mission you go back to the monastery, instead you have a choice to go back to a place called the Somnial, where you can do a couple fun little optional activities that can give you a boost, or you can just keep going through the story. Fire Emblem Engage, everybody.
Give
it a round of applause. It deserves it.
That's a Fire Emblem game that I want to play.
Let me tell you this. There's one mission in this game. Let me break down this mission for you.
Break it down.
I love this mission. It might even be my favorite mission I've ever played in a tactical strategic game. I love strategy games. XCOM 2, probably my most played game of all time. Mario and Rabbids. I love them. I love them all. And Fire Emblem, of course. But there's this one mission near the end of Fire Emblem Engage where there's been a plot twist that happens. Not that you care that much about the plot at this point, but it's kind of a cool moment. You go, okay, this is neat. What's going on here? Kind of a cool little situation. And then in this mission, essentially you are at the foot of a mountain, and then all the enemies are at the top of the mountain, and your squad is split up into 3 lanes. So, you decide where your squad's going to go. So you're split up into 3 lanes, and you have to get to the top of this mountain in a certain amount of turns, or you lose. And the stakes feel high at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the second or third last mission of the game. The stakes are high. But the twist to this mission is that every turn, a different lane of the mountain is going to have an avalanche that happens caused by the bad guys. That'll push your squad back down if you can't get them into specific spots to kind of get away from from the Avalanche. So you are battling to like you're thinking, how am I going to get my squad up the mountain in position to not get pushed down while still killing the enemies while making it on time? It is
Wow.
the stakes are high. The music in the mission is absolutely incredible, and it is. There's never been a moment in a turn-based tactics game for me that has felt so like it felt like an action game. It felt like my heart was pounding. It was just an incredible moment. The
Wow.
game is outstanding. Fire Emblem Engage is one of the best games on the Switch, and I can't wait to replay it. I'm gonna play it again soon, probably, just because I think about it all the time. It's so good.
Well, that is one that I want to play, because you say the story's whatever. I don't want to worry about the story.
You could literally skip it. It's so bad.
I want just some solid tactics. That's all I'm looking for.
You won't find better on the console.
Amazing.
You might not even find better anywhere because and I could gush about this game forever, but they bring in the engage rings, the rings that you can engage with, and it just adds this extra layer of strategy that you can't even believe. And all of a sudden, you have these units that you have them synergizing with each other, and you have them synergizing with the rings. You've made these builds. It's incredible. It's just one of the best games I've played this year for sure.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, my next game, moving on from Fire Emblem, we have is Hades.
Hey,
look at that. We got a nice inside. I don't have the cartridge in here because that's one I keep on me. You got to keep that thing on you. When it comes to my physical roguelikes, I like to keep them on me if I don't have them digital. There's a little picture
manual?
of Hades
Where's
in
the
there.
manual?
I pulled it out. Don't you worry. We got a
Okay.
manual right there. Boom.
Good stuff.
Look at that. What do we got in there? Whoa! Look at the artwork.
Oh,
Whoa!
Theseus.
Whoa!
Dylan, give me your
Fantastic.
thoughts on Hades. Give me your thoughts
I'll
on
give you
Hades.
some thoughts on Hades. I really like Hades, but I do struggle with it. And my struggle with Hades is that primarily I play my Switch in handheld. I don't play my Switch docked very often. I play on handheld, and even on the Switch Lite, I find that everything is too small for me to see everything happening. And especially just in like my little radius around me, and I really struggle with that. I have a very hard time playing it because everything is so small. I just can't see anything. I really want to play it on the TV more because of that. But that aside, I think Hades is just fantastic. I think the art style is great. I think building out the area is great.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah, too. I like getting the weapons, upgrading the weapons, and it just feels so good to play. It's so smooth. It's smooth as butter. And the synergies are a lot of fun when you're going with one god or the other god. Yeah, very solid, very great game. I've never beat it. Like most roguelikes, we were talking about Enter the Gungeon earlier. The only roguelike I think I've ever beaten. Hades is not up there. It's just I don't know if I ever will beat it, but maybe if I pop it on the TV, I can do that. I love Hades. What do you think about Hades?
I like Hades a lot. My first time ever beating Hades was on stream. I think that Hades does a lot of things really well. I think that Hades does a lot of things like there's aspects of Hades that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm probably one of the people that you'll find that'll say that Hades is a great roguelike. It is great, but I'd still put it in maybe A-,
Sure,
high B.
Yeah, I'd put it around
B+. I don't care about my stories in my roguelikes, and there's a huge emphasis on the stories in Hades. And then one of my favorite things in a roguelike is branching paths. I love when I have, when it feels like my run, when it feels like I'm making the choices. I don't know what I'm going to be coming up against. Isaac has like 500 bosses or something. You never know what you're getting into. Hades, every run. First floor, you fight that chick. I don't remember her name.
I don't remember.
Like the sister of the three sisters.
Yeah.
You fight one of the three sisters. Second floor, you fight the Hydra. Third floor, you fight the Minotaur and whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
And then final floor you fight Hades. And that's a big problem with the game for me.
Yeah.
Like that really kills the replayability. One of the things the game does the best, in my opinion, is the way that it handles difficulty.
Yeah.
And I think I talked about this last time we played with another game. I forget which one though. But basically, the difficulty in Hades, once you beat the game once, you get to do something. There's like a spice meter.
Yeah.
Think Smash Bros. Smash Run.
Right.
If you played a lot of that, where you kind of get to
turn it up.
decide how tough the game's going to be, and through that, you get better rewards and whatnot. And I think that that's really cool. I'm super into it. They handle the difficulty perfectly. It's not just like enemies get harder. You're making the decisions on what's happening with the enemies.
Yeah.
And I love that. I really do. And there's some cool things with the weapons in Hades. There's ways that they can be modified with certain pickups that I think is fun and cool. But overall, it would be like a little bit of a mid-tier roguelike for me.
Yep,
and
I'd put it
mid-tier,
around
it's still
there
like
too.
A minus, B
Yeah.
plus. Like I still think it's great, but
We'll have to do some tier lists in the future, but I would definitely put it
Definitely.
around there as well.
yeah, very good roguelike with a couple of issues.
Yeah.
As someone who plays a lot of roguelikes, at least I could see like people who don't play a lot of roguelikes, they'd probably be like, "This is unbelievable,"
Yeah.
Um,
For sure.
but I was born in the shadows with the Binding of Isaac, so
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next game, here we have a
All
game
right.
that we've talked a lot about
Here we
today,
go.
which is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Three Houses
So, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
is
So,
ugly.
let's check out that. It's so ugly. The
It
character
looks like
models look
ass.
great.
The character
The
models
character
are
models
fine.
look great.
Yeah.
I love the character models in this
Yeah.
game. I think that
I wouldn't
they
go that
look
far,
great.
but
Engage is better. They look better in Engage.
Yeah.
But Engage takes the fan service a little bit too far. Maybe there's a little too many boobies in that game.
no such thing.
It's just a little silly. But
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'll be quick about it because I could talk about it for probably an hour. It's a very different experience from Fire Emblem Engage. It focuses a lot more on the life sim, obviously. The being in the school, being the teacher, getting to know your students, all things that I love about Fire Emblem that is still in Engage, but it's just a little bit dialed back, which
Yeah.
I think is great. They handled it perfectly. Let's keep what they were doing in Engage going because that was awesome. Like basically making the school side of things optional.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Like they
Yeah.
made it really, they did a perfect balancing act in Engage. As far as the gameplay of Fire Emblem Three Houses goes, it's very good, but it suffers from being very similar to Fire Emblem Awakening in that most of your objectives in the game are kill all the enemies, you win.
Yeah.
It's fine, there's some great tactics there, but you're not getting a mission where you're climbing up a mountain with avalanches happening,
Yeah.
and the fate of the world is at stake. It feels like
Right.
you're not getting that in Three Houses, but I do think the characters are just incredible in this game.
Yeah.
I love that in my Fire Emblem games in particular. I fell absolutely in love with the characters in this game. I think that they're so well written, they're so well voice acted. They're probably the best in the franchise that I've experienced. I freaking love them. And you really feel a bond with your house by the end of the game.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's
Cool.
it's a must-have Switch game if you're into
Yeah.
tactics and into Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's just one of those games. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the stream, I don't currently own this. I did twice. I purchased that game twice.
You've given it a fair shake.
I've tried it a few times.
You've tried.
I really wanted to like it. Everybody I talked to loved it. I love tactics games. I really enjoy that style of gameplay. I even like you say life sim aspects, and I love that. That's one of my favorite things about Persona is like thinking about how I'm gonna spend my day or whatever. That's great. I just don't know what it is about this Fire Emblem game. I loved Fire Emblem games on the GBA. I think there's only one. But when I was a kid, is there two? Okay. When I was a kid, I played one of them, and I just loved it. And I just want to love Fire Emblem again, and I just don't. I want to play Engage. I haven't played Engage yet, granted. But
If I could say one thing,
yeah.
I will say next time you pick up a Fire Emblem game, play it and just give it I know how tough that can be, but
Yeah.
you just have to like power through, muscle through until
Yeah.
you're like, you know, a little deeper in. Because I
Okay.
do think that there's a lot there, but even I didn't play Fire Emblem Three Houses until last year.
Yeah.
I bought it the day it came out, and I didn't play it until last year. There's a
Yeah.
reason for that. You have to like muscle through, and you have to let the game dig its claws into you
Yeah.
to really get into it. Engage handled it a lot better. Actually, you get into the action a lot faster. But Three Houses, just give it like you
Yeah.
just next time you play a Fire Emblem game, really stick with it because
Well,
there's a lot.
I'll give Engage a go eventually. Unless we see a remake of what was it, the GameCube one?
Oh my god!
That'd be nice to
So the
see.
rumor is the remake of Fire Emblem 4 from the Super Nintendo,
Oh, is
which
that what it was?
it's something of the Holy War. It's Fire
I have no
Emblem
idea.
something of the Holy War, genealogy of the Holy War.
Oh yes.
And I jumped through so many fucking hoops to play that game on an emulator on my computer. I learned how to patch a ROM to play it in English, and I've played like 5 hours of it, and I loved it. And then something else must have come out, and I think Fire Emblem Engage came out, and I dropped
Yeah,
it.
I think you're right actually.
I'll go back to it though because I was loving it,
Yeah.
and that's the game that Ike is from. No,
Oh.
that's not true. That's not the game that Ike is
Oh.
from. That is completely.
Ike
not
is from
true.
one of the 3DS
He's from
ones, isn't he?
Radiant, Path of Radiance,
Oh.
and Radiant Dawn.
I don't know.
The
Fire Emblem.
GameCube and the Wii one.
Right.
I'll remember who's from that one. But if they remake that game, that would maybe be my top Switch game because like that
Wow.
would just be amazing.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping. I would love to see it
God, I'd love to see that.
with avalanches.
Oh, give me all the avalanches. The thing about that game, Dylan, is that like every level takes like 2 hours because the maps are just massive.
Yeah.
They're like 3 times any other Fire Emblem game, and you're fighting like 100 enemies every level. It's
Sounds
crazy.
great.
It's like a real war. It's nuts.
That sounds great. All right. Next up on my list here, I'm gonna bust out 2, because they're kind of the same. We've got Hyrule Warriors, Definitive, and we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. There's the inside. Got a bit of box art in there, looking good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have Age of Calamity, is that correct?
I was talking to Rachel about it before the stream. I do
Really?
not have Age of Calamity. And
Yeah.
I always forget I don't have it. And then I go, oh yeah, I guess I should get that at some point.
I always forget that I have it. I've played very little of both of these games. The gameplay doesn't interest me very much. This one was more interesting to me than this one because it had that connection to Breath of the Wild, which I was really interested in. But I did never end up playing very much. I played maybe an hour's worth.
I hear good things.
I hear great things about both of them. And these are those kinds of games where like one day I'll be bored and I'll look at my games and I'll go, what do I want to play? Oh, fuck it, let's throw in one of these and we'll see how that goes. And then I'll spend all day playing it and I will have had a great time probably.
Yeah.
But I don't have much to say about it. Hack and slash, I've said it before on the show already. Not really for me, and what is this if not hack and slash? The things that this has going for it, in my opinion, with hack and slash, is that there's 1,000 enemies, and there's one of you, and you're killing 100 of them at a time, and it feels good. It's just kind of, it's all fan service. This one especially is very fan servicey, but it just feels great. There's a horde of enemies, and you rip them up, and then you're on to the next horde.
I have played a lot of the first Hyrule Warriors. I don't have Age of Calamity. I've never touched it. But Hyrule Warriors, I bought it on the Wii U when it came out because I thought that was like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Played the shit out of it, beat it. And then the 3DS version came out, and I almost bought it because I thought Linkle, the idea of like a female Link, but she's not actually Link. She just thinks she is, which is really funny.
Really?
It's like it's well done. Yeah.
Cool.
But then I didn't buy it on the 3DS, and I'm glad because the Switch version ends up taking all the DLC content from the Wii U and the 3DS, which there's a ton, and it adds it all into the Switch version. It's the content in this game. You got 1,000 hours worth of gameplay if you want.
Wow.
In Hyrule Warriors.
Unreal.
The DLC and the 3DS content, all of it is like it's ridiculous. It's a great value. And Hyrule Warriors 1 it's great. I really, really like it, and the Switch port I played quite a bit of.
Wow.
I'm probably halfway through like the adventure mode. And they did a lot of great changes, like being able to switch characters
Yeah.
on the fly is one that they did.
That's cool.
Wait, did they do that, or was that in? That might have been in Fire Emblem.
Oh.
You know, I'm pretty sure that was in the Wii U version. I'm like 99% sure, or Switch version. Sorry. But it's great. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I played a lot of it.
I have a question since you played so much. I remember watching a video or something about it years ago, and the video showed off these little, it was like almost like little mini games or something that were like styled in like the classic
NES
Zelda. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that that's in there?
So basically, it's a mode.
Yeah.
What's it? It's called like it might be called Adventure Mode, and in the main story is called something else. But you play on a 2D Zelda map.
Yeah.
Where you kind of move Link along on a grid, and then every grid, you know, you go into a battle or you get a chest or something like that. So you know, you're filling out this map of the OG Zelda. It takes forever. That's where you're gonna get the most time out of the game. That's where all the DLCs can come into play. You can play as any character on any level. It's really, really cool. It adds a ridiculous amount of replay value. There's a lot of content there.
Wow.
It's a really cool mode. And it ties into like the main story. Like you get unlocks in the main story that then you can use in that mode.
Yeah.
It all kind of ties and melts together.
Oh,
It's really
cool.
good.
I thought it was like
so
unlockable or something.
No, it's just like a mode in the game. Yeah, you
Cool.
just and you move Link along and in a grid, and then you do a fight. It's really cool. It's
Cool.
sick.
I want to check it out. I'm actually wanting to pop that in now and try it out.
You should. It's really good.
I actually don't know if I've ever even put it in my Switch, to be honest. So
Give it a try. You might be surprised
I
with how
should.
much fun you have in Hyrule Warriors. I certainly was. And speaking of Warriors, this is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I have regular Fire Emblem Warriors. I loaned it to a friend years ago, and I've never gotten it back.
no, a thief.
So I might have to rebuy that one at some point.
No, you got to send a text. You got to send an email.
And I talked to him. It's one of my best friends, like childhood best friends. So it's not like I'm gonna hold it against him if he lost it. But I think he might have lost it.
No.
So
I just can't
he's
imagine losing a
forgiven.
game.
He's been acquitted. It's not a big deal. But this is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This one stunned me that they made this. I can't believe that this exists.
Me neither, frankly.
Like this, what a sick cover art too. By the way,
It looks great.
That is
Yeah,
freaking
that's really
awesome. Yeah,
really
Check out
pairs
the
up with
inside.
the Three Hopes.
It's a map of
houses.
the Three Houses world.
Yeah.
Fodland and whatnot. Very sick. I haven't beaten this game. I have like 5 hours in it, I think. It's the best of the Warriors games that I've played so far, except for the fact that I think that Hyrule Warriors is more interesting as a concept. The gameplay in this one is fantastic, really cool. It's neat the way that they incorporate things about both Three Houses and Fire Emblem as a whole.
That's
Weapon
cool,
triangles involved, things like that. Really cool. I think that the story it goes neat places, which I'm sure Age of Calamity does as well. The fact that if you know Three Houses and then you're playing Three Hopes and things are shifting and all of a sudden good guys are bad guys and bad guys are good guys and you're like, what is going on here? It's really neat.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a Warriors game. They're all the same.
Is that canonical? That ties into?
It's
Three
like
Houses?
alternate universe, same as like Age of Calamity or whatever, where they don't say it's not canon, but they're like it's separate.
They
or
were
whatever.
marketing it like it was supplemental or something to Fire Emblem.
This one, it's like a totally like Byleth, the main. This isn't a spoiler, by the way. I'm pretty sure they show this in the trailer, but Byleth is like the main bad guy in this, who's the main character in regular.
I didn't know that.
Three Houses.
That's kind of cool.
It's cool. Yeah.
Fire Emblem Warriors not for me. Warriors games in general, as we've kind of established, are not for me.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, as we established, not for me. It's too much.
This is not a game for you.
It's not
I will
for
tell
me.
you
They
this
didn't
right
make it
now.
for
This
me.
is not a game for you.
I wouldn't put money on it. Let's see, what do we have here? This is a cool little find. We got Kingdom Majestic.
Oh.
This guy, what do we got in here? We've got Kingdom New Lands and Kingdom Two Crowns built on there. On cart.
Is that
nothing
two
on the
different
inside.
games?
Two different games, yeah. I love
on cart?
Kingdom. All on cart. And
What's the situation with this game? What kind of game is this?
So this is kind of like a survival, like management. Maybe survival's not the right word. It's kind of like a management game. It's a side scroller, very gorgeous. I don't know if you can get in on how beautiful the artwork is there. Very beautiful graphics. Pixel art. Basically, you're like a king or a queen, and you're riding on a horse. and you start up a camp and you got to manage the walls. It's kind of like a tower defense almost, but it's side scroller. It's just on a 2D plane, and you got your camp and you got your little dudes that live there, and you got to build up archery huts and defense walls, and you got to go out into the woods that are on either side, and you collect up resources so you can go back and build up your walls and build up your town. It's pretty cool. It's nothing like Terraria, but it's there's not a lot of connection between Terraria actually.
Yeah,
I know it's just a joke, but it is not like Terraria very much. But it's really good. It's also like these games are pretty cheap. Like around $10 maybe each. There's good DLC for them. There is coming out a kingdom that's like based off like the 90s.
cool.
Which is really cool. So instead of like a queen riding a horse, you're like a kid riding a bike, and you're building up like
neat.
cardboard house forts and stuff, trying to save the town from like 80s demons and stuff. I don't know if I said 90s. I think it's based on the 80s and like 80s horror movies and stuff. But these are great, very cool little indie games. You really get your money's worth with these. I paid $30 for $20 or $30 for this Canadian at Walmart. I think it might have even only been $19.99 now that I think about it at Walmart. Honestly, when it comes to indie games, replayable kind of. I don't want to call it a roguelike because there's not like power-ups and things like that. It's very much like resource management. You're building up. You're trying to protect your crown, basically. The monsters are trying to get the crown that you wear on your head, and if it touches the ground, they knock it off your head. Game over kind of thing.
Cool.
Very cool, yeah.
Sounds sick, honestly.
Not something I've ever beaten. Not something I ever probably will beat. But I will continue enjoying forever because these are awesome games, yeah.
They sound awesome.
They're very
I've
cool.
never heard of these games in my life before.
Highly recommend them.
Actually, when you texted me that you got that,
yeah.
I was like, what is that? And then this is only the second time I've ever heard about them. So
they're great on Switch.
It's something I'll keep my eyes open for, especially if I can find it for that cheap.
I mean,
that would be awesome.
On the eShop, like $10, probably $10-12 for the games on the eShop.
Now that I know there's a physical with both, you know I gotta keep my eyes open.
Check Walmart. Check Walmart.
I will. I always do.
Me too. You got to check Walmart for those cheap games.
I know they got the good stuff. They got Katamari Damacy for $20.
Yeah,
let's go. Next up here we have, this is an interesting one. I'm super into the fact that I have this. I think
cool.
that makes me be maybe even the coolest guy in this condo complex that I live in.
I would believe it.
It's pretty sick.
You put those old people to shame.
This is a game, a little known roguelike, and it is little known, I would say, and it's Flint.
Cool. That's a
Flint
cool grab.
It is. I was super excited. I was working at a game store when this came in, the same one that I worked at with Dylan.
That's right.
And when this came in, it was an instant, like, I have to have it.
Yeah.
Let's check out what's going on inside.
That was $49.99. That was not a price I was going to pay for that.
You know what? it was a game that I have experience with. You know, I picked it up like the day it came out. Just a little instruction manual.
LRG's good for that.
They are. It's a cool roguelike. It's not like the best roguelike around, but I've sunk some time into it. I probably have like 20 to 30 hours in Flint Hook. And I think it's awesome. It's like basically a roguelike where the gimmick is that you're grappling everywhere. You're a little like bandit, you're stealing treasure, and you're grappling all over the place. It's a really cool game, and I'm super, super into the fact that I own the physical of it. I think that's awesome. That's really all I have to say about Flint Hook. It's a cool game. Yeah. Play Flint Hook because it's super cheap all the time, at least on Steam.
Really?
It often goes on sale for quite cheap. Yeah.
Flint Hook was not a game that I knew existed prior to us receiving that collection or that physical copy in at the store. And it's also a game I haven't thought about since those sold out at the store.
It's really good. It is very good.
I'll check it out. I'll put it on my eShop wish list. Next time that goes on sale, I'll pick it up because I'm sure it probably goes on sale.
I could see you being into it, Dylan. I really could. I think that you would get down with the
I really like the art style.
It's cute. It is. The main character's design is cute.
Yeah.
I'm into it. And the reason that I know that this game exists, by the way, is when it came out, Northern Lion played it quite a bit. That's why I picked it up. And then
Egghead
when I saw
playing.
the physical, it was a must-buy. Yeah.
Very cool.
What's next?
What do I got here? I have Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Hey,
There we go.
Okay.
Now this game. What else do I have? That's all I got. I thought I had 2 copies of this, but I think Cam just has it digitally. Oh wow, yeah, I love this game. Oh come on with that inside artwork. I was so hyped for this game to come out. I'm not super into Kirby. I like Kirby a lot. I played Kirby games when I was a kid. I really enjoyed them. But modern Kirby has not been too kind to me, or I haven't been too kind to modern Kirby, where I'm just kind of over the side-scrolling stuff.
Star
Nintendo's got too much side-scrolling going on.
They killed
They're
3DS
good at
era
it.
really ruined
Yeah.
2D games for Nintendo when they turned everything into a 2D game.
Yes.
Even 3D Mario turned into a 2D game.
Chibi Robo. How could you do that?
Chibi Robo.
Yeah, but Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the first fully, truly 3D Kirby game, just like such a treasure and a treat. I love this game. I played it start to finish nonstop. I actually won my Nintendo Switch OLED system. I won that. Now, it's not super relevant to this, but I just remember I won my OLED system. I bought a bag of it was an assortment of small bags of chips, and it had like an enter a contest thing on it. And I entered the contest and I fucking won. I won an OLED Nintendo Switch with a digital copy of Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it was right before this came out. And I was so excited to play it on this. I really put those two things together in my mind. They're associated in my mind. So I had to mention it. I played this game. I love this game. My fiance adores this game. It's just the perfect Kirby game in my opinion, and I hope that Kirby remains this good in the future.
Me too.
Big time.
I love it. I think it was late last year I decided, you know what, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to 100% Forgotten Lands, and I did. I got the little statue you get in the town when you do it.
Cam did it too.
It's awesome. It's a great game. It's worth the 100%. There's a pretty tricky boss fight that you have to do to get it. Like
Really?
As most Kirby games have. Like most Kirby games have that one really big difficulty spike near the end. It's awesome. And one of my biggest concerns was that it would be too easy, but you know what? It's not. The last world in the game,
it's tough.
where you have to collect like pieces of the lion's soul or whatever.
Yeah.
That is like one of the best 3D platforming worlds I've played. It's fantastic. It's challenging. It's cool. And the game's just awesome.
Just love it. It's so good.
It's so cool too. The world, like, come on.
I mean, it's
amusement park world.
Yep. I'm a sucker for
world.
post-apocalypse, and I love when Nintendo does post-apocalypse because they do it in the Nintendo way. That's still somehow it's still charming, and you love to see an abandoned mall. It's very well done. Absolutely adore it. Yeah.
Cool power-ups too. The gun.
Yeah, the gun's the best.
Gun?
I actually didn't want to upgrade it because it stopped being like a cowboy gunslinger and started being like a spaceman.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, but it gets better. So
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a great game. Very sick.
Yeah.
Very, very sick. This is.
Oh my god!
For really cheap, but this is Ghostbusters the video game, which is. Like, I don't know if you know anything about Ghostbusters, the video game, Dylan.
No. Is this the Super Nintendo one or whatever?
No. This was so it came out on the Xbox 360, PS3 Wii era.
Yeah.
And it's basically a third movie. It's basically a third movie. You got all the characters from the first two movies. It's really good. It's like a very, very good game.
Interesting.
If you're into Ghostbusters, play Ghostbusters the video game. Seriously, it's very good.
I'm not into Ghostbusters.
I'm pretty sure all of the voice actors are the original actors.
Really?
I should probably confirm that, but I'm fairly certain that is the case.
That would be cool.
I'm going to confirm it right now.
You're telling me they got Bill Murray for that?
I think so. Video game characters voiced by the actors. I guess I could have just looked at the cast of the game, but yeah. All of the characters are voiced by the actors. It's a sick game. It really is. Wow. The interesting thing about this is that the Xbox 360 and the PS3 version was a totally different game from the Wii version.
Yeah.
Which happened often back then.
Oh yeah,
but
of course.
Now the Wii version is like lost. It's gone because this version is the 360 and PS3 version.
Yeah.
This is a remaster of it. Obviously, it's
Of course,
Ghostbusters
remastered.
the video game remastered. But I got this for super cheap, $10 at Shoppers Drug Mart like
Oh
2
my
years
god,
ago.
that's awesome.
I know. And I already
Shoppers
was
is
a fan
a
of the game.
weird like sleeper place to get games.
Sometimes they've got the deals.
Yeah.
They really do.
They really do, yeah.
I got Splatoon for the Wii U there back in the
Oh
day.
my god.
Just I don't know why I just did. But yeah, Ghostbusters the video game is a great game. If you find it for dirt cheap, pick it up. You won't be disappointed.
Cool. I'm not super into Ghostbusters, so if it was like a retro like Super Nintendo situation, like maybe I'd consider it. But you know, maybe one day I'll pick that up if Shoppers has it for $10 again, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next on my pile here, we've got another Kirby game. We've got Kirby.
Oh, I don't have that one.
Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. This belongs to my fiance. This is not my game. But of course, you know, we combine our collections. I haven't played it yet. I never played the original on the Wii. But I know a lot about what's going on in here, and I gotta say I like it. The art style looks good. Graphically, it looks like a really nice, soft, you know, cute game. Which it's Kirby, obviously it's gonna be
they totally
cute. But
changed it from the Wii's art style. Hey? Like it's completely different.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah,
very cool remaster.
I like it. This is one I definitely want to pop in.
I want to get it like as well. They added a whole nother chapter too. Like
yeah.
They outdid themselves with that one.
Yeah, good.
They really did.
I mean,
why is Kirby getting so much fucking love?
I don't. Maybe they're easy to make or something. They must be just easy to do. Kirby must be easy.
Why does Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe get a whole nother chapter and a remixed art style, and Skyward Sword just gets button controls?
Yeah,
is the only thing that it adds.
It's hard to imagine so many of these Kirby games like selling big. Like I could see Forgotten Lands selling pretty big because it's a big deal.
15 million?
Yeah, like I could see that because that's a big deal.
What are Return to Dreamland's numbers?
I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to pop this in and try it out. They added so much content to it too, which is insane. Yeah,
very sick.
Never played the Wii one, so it's a brand new Kirby game to me.
2 million copies.
Yeah, right. So like, I mean, I guess that's fine. It's not like it's not underperforming, I guess, but for an oversaturated series,
remake, like they really added a lot.
Well,
I don't know. They basically built it from the ground up.
That you have to then ask the question: is it really high effort? Is it? You know, was it an easy thing to do? I would imagine. Maybe
the Kirby team knows what they're doing at this point, right? They can bang that shit out in a week.
These came out in the same year, didn't they? Forgotten Land and Return of Dreamland?
Same year. Or like maybe one like
within a year.
Within a year of each other. And we got the fucking Kirby racing game in that time too.
Where you eat all the food.
On the cake.
The fucking buffet, Kirby's Dream Buffet or whatever.
They also added like 10 Kirby games to Switch Online. Like, why is Kirby getting so much love?
Only for Ant Dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides Forgotten Land, which is excellent, but
yeah, I don't know. But
that's a
I'm
cool
all
one.
for
I
it
wish I had
like
that.
Kirby. I'm glad Cam wanted it so bad because I like having it in the collection for sure.
How did Cam like it?
I don't remember. I think it was pretty. It was like right before. You know what? I guess it did come out this year because we did get it like right before Tears of the Kingdom. I think.
Yeah.
It was just too much. I don't think they were able to enjoy it enough because they had Breath of the Wild on the mind because they went through Breath of the Wild at the beginning of this year and then they were just waiting for Tears of the Kingdom. And this was supposed to hold them over till Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I don't think the being in that Zelda limbo, I think
Kirby and Zelda are not games that you want to be comparing, at all in your mind.
No. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, this one is a cool one. My next one here.
Cool.
This is one that Rachel absolutely loves, and it's a golf story.
Let's go!
It's
I think I have Golf Story. No, I don't have Golf Story anymore. Actually, I never got Golf Story physically. I got it digitally because that was when I was super excited for it when it was coming out. Oh, it's got
Yeah.
the Golf. That's the best.
It's got the
I
Galf
really
instruction
wanted the
manual.
collector's edition.
Oh, that thing was cool. Like the
Yeah.
actual NES cartridge of Galf.
No, well,
So
yeah,
cool.
I wanted that, but I wanted the Golf Story LRG collector's edition because it came with
Yeah.
so much cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Golf Story is amazing. It's sad they fumbled
So
Sports
good.
Story.
It's so good. Yeah, that is sad. But if the physical comes out, I still want it because you can't have one and
You
not
have
the other.
to.
But Golf Story is it's a Switch launch game, I'm pretty sure, or like right at the
No,
launch.
it wasn't a launch game, but it did come out early on.
Yeah,
Came out very
like I
early
picked it up
on.
when I got my Switch, which I got my Switch maybe a month or two after it came
Yeah.
out. So yeah, like it was right there at launch. I love Golf Story. It was one of the first games I beat on my Switch. I played it right after
Cool.
Breath of the Wild. I love Golf Story. I
Yeah.
do, and I'm glad to have the physical. It was one that as soon as I saw it come in, I was like, okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did because then Rachel ended up falling in love with Golf Story as
Nice.
well. And it's a game that she talks about all the time.
Yeah. It's got that great like Mario Golf on the Game
Like
Boy.
the classic, the Game Boy.
On the
Yes.
Game Boy, yeah.
It has those vibes, and I love that
Yeah,
about it.
a
It's
great
a really
writing.
great game. Yeah,
Very well written. Yeah. Yeah,
Funny,
I wish I had a
charming,
physical.
Great visuals. It's just an all around, like, it's a complete package.
Yeah.
Pick this game up, everybody.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Do
I don't
it.
know if it goes
It's
on sale on the
cheap.
eShop.
You know
but
what?
Get it.
I think it's only like $10-15 on the eShop anyway.
It's worth
maybe
every penny.
20, but yeah, it's worth it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I really regret not getting the collector's edition. God, that thing had like a trophy. It had like
gotta
a
look this thing up.
membership.
Let me see.
It's very cool. I wanted it very bad. We had a used one come in the store one time, and for some reason I
Really?
just didn't buy it. I made that mistake with a few games that I do regret. How's that?
Oh, that
looking?
is cool. It comes
Yeah.
with a trophy.
Very
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
I love that.
What do we got here next on my list? We've got Luigi's Mansion 3.
Let's go.
Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, I love Luigi's Mansion. The original Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube is one of the most important special games of all time to me. I just adore that game to its very core. It is one
And
of
the
my favorite
3DS
games of
port.
all time. Shut the fuck up. These Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube is so good. And then Luigi's Mansion 2 was not Luigi's Mansion anymore. And then Luigi's Mansion 3 is a little bit Luigi's Mansion, but it's too much not Luigi's Mansion than it is. It's more not Luigi's Mansion than it is Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube is Nintendo making a Nintendo Mario Resident Evil game. It's got tank
it is.
controls. It can actually be frightening. You can get jump scared by that game legitimately as an adult. The atmosphere is so there. The soundtrack is so right. The ghosts, the designs are so good. Everything about it is perfect. And everything in 2 and also 3 are not Luigi's Mansion enough. Why are the colors so bright?
I think a lot of people are going to disagree with you
I
on that one.
don't care because a lot of people didn't spend their
fucking
entire childhood.
love Luigi's Mansion 3.
I think Luigi's
Don't
Mansion
agree
3.
with you.
I think Luigi's Mansion 3 is a very good game, but it's not Luigi's Mansion as I know Luigi's Mansion. It's when I compare Luigi's Mansion 3 to the original Luigi's Mansion, they play similar, but they don't feel like the same thing. The vibe is so different. Why is it so brightly colored? Why is it so brightly lit?
I love it personally. I haven't beaten the game, but I've played a decent amount.
I
of it,
also
and
haven't
I
beaten
love
it.
Luigi's Mansion 3.
I am not one to complain about bright colors in video games, but when we're talking about Luigi's
You
Mansion,
want moody. You
I want
atmosphere.
moody.
I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
What do you
I understand
think
where
about
you're
it?
coming from. What do I think about
Yeah,
it?
what do you think about it?
I love it. I think it's a great game. Like I said, I haven't beaten it. Rachel and I were co-oping it, and then we ended up dropping it. But I've told her this Christmas break, if there's one thing I want to do, it's play through Luigi's Mansion.
This
3.
Christmas
so
break?
we're gonna play through it this
Like in the
Christmas
next
break.
week?
Yeah. Like
Right on.
We get on to break at the end of this week, and then we have 2 weeks to do it. And we're beating. That's my one thing I want to do.
Right
on the
on.
break. So we're gonna beat Luigi's Mansion 3. Right, Rach?
I want to
She'll
play.
answer right away.
I,
She's a little delayed.
I want to finish it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do it. The co-op is really good in it.
Yeah.
Like it just plays super well co-op.
Really? Maybe me and Cam will play it.
Yeah. You should play it with Cam. Honestly, it like played perfectly.
Yeah.
It almost felt better that way.
Really?
Because Guiji, you don't have to switch back and forth.
Yeah.
But I loved it from what I played, which was like a solid chunk of the game. I feel like
I played up until like the director area. I
That
think
rings
the
a bell.
director
I
was
think that
like
might
the
have been where
last
we
thing
got.
that I saw.
Yeah.
Which is close. That's like more than halfway through the game, I think. It's
Yeah.
like 3/4 of the way.
Did you
I
get to the boat, like the pirate boat level? Was that a thing?
think. I might have gotten there too.
Yeah.
I remember a night level, like castles and shit.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, it's cool. See, I love that. I love the way that the hotel transforms and like every world feels so distinct. Every floor.
I like
Love
that
it.
too. I just think it's too happy. It's too happy.
I get your complaint, but also I'm like, if this is the direction Luigi's Mansion goes as a franchise, I'm not gonna complain. I'll be like, hey, I'm just happy it exists at all.
That's the one thing I'm glad that Luigi's Mansion exists still and is in people's minds.
It's good.
And it's good objectively for what it is. And I can just only hope that when Nintendo and Charlie Day make the Luigi's Mansion movie, that it takes more inspiration from the original than it does these two.
It'll be a musical.
Oh, that'd be so. That would be
good.
so fucking good.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
That would be awesome.
I would take it. That would be Charlie Day,
too.
Luigi's
In
Mansion
a
musical.
heartbeat.
Come on. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
You got me excited for
love
something
it.
that's never gonna happen.
Dylan, you're gonna really appreciate this next one. So I got this on sale, which never happens with these kind of limited releases. This is not limited run. This is special reserve Devolver. Wait, is it special reserve?
Could be.
It's just Devolver. It's not even special reserve.
What is it? What are we talking about here?
It's the Hotline Miami collection.
Let's go! I have that
It's
also.
a Hotline Miami collection.
It's up in there.
It's
It
not
is
special reserve.
It
Did
is
you know
special
this?
reserve. Hold on. I'm grabbing mine. Give me a second.
It doesn't say special reserve anywhere on it.
I have to bust it out because we are talking special reserve now.
Sick. Freaking sick.
What you have is it's actually not that limited. You could still buy it to this day. You could walk into like a Walmart or not a Walmart, but a Best Buy.
PMP. You could go to a
PMP,
PMP. Yeah.
What you have? Do you have a number on the back?
No.
No. Yeah. So you have the standard retail version of that. That's 1 and 2. This is the special reserve. I was gonna save my special reserves for the end, but I just adore this. The Hotline Miami collection.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
Very cool.
I have number 1323 out of 8,000 there. So I'm pretty low in the numbers there. Sub
Not bad.
2,000. We could bust it open. Mine, in fact, is still sealed because
Let me see the back. I want to see the special reserve on the back. I want to see where it shows up on there.
Special
It is
reserve right
SRG. What
Yep.
the hell?
it's
Weird.
they did a mass market version, but this is
They
their
did that with Cult of the
special.
Lamb too.
Yep. This is the special reserve. Yeah, this one, I love this one. When you pre-ordered this, they sent you digital downloads for the games, so I've never opened this because I don't have to. It came with a bunch of stickers in here, which I've already used. There's a couple of these little art things,
Awesome.
which are
Very
I'll never do
cool.
anything with, but it's cool to have. I don't have much left in here now because, like I said, there were stickers that I used. I think there's stickers in here. I think there's a instruction manual in here as
An
well.
instruction manual.
Maybe there aren't stickers, but that is, yeah, that's nice. See, that's the one problem is that I'm missing out on that. But I don't mind too much because there's no reason to open it if I don't have
Won't keep
to.
you up at night.
No,
Definitely.
exactly. So, yeah, that's the special reserve version. I love my special reserves. What I have, I don't love special reserve as a company. Maybe we'll tell that story another day about why we are not big fans.
It's right over there.
You should
might
have
even
busted
see
out
it
for
on the camera.
Gungeon.
Oh yeah, I'll go grab it right now.
Yeah, go grab it. Save it for your special treat, maybe. I got one pulled aside for my special treat. We gotta do a special treat. Oh, that's a special treat right there.
I'll save it for the special
Yeah,
treat.
yeah. Yeah, I love my special reserves, but me and special reserve, we had a falling out. and I don't do their stuff anymore. But there was a point where I got every special reserve, and that's, you see that black stack right there? That's what that black stack is all special reserves.
Very sick.
Yeah.
If you're ever looking to part ways with any of those, you let me know before you let eBay know.
There's one
interested potentially.
There's one that I would like to get rid of. But my friend
if it's
Pedro,
Mother Russia Bleeds, I'm not interested.
It's not
my friend Pedro?
Yeah, my friend Pedro.
You have the special reserve of it?
No, I don't have the big box.
The
I don't have the big box. It's just like the physical, yeah.
Okay, then I'm good. The physical I can. It's like
that's
EB
fair,
games
yeah.
often.
I don't think they did a big box for my friend Pedro.
They did. It has a banana on it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It had like a stress ball, right?
It was one of the early ones before they went all black box with all of them. But it is sick, and I like that game a lot.
I don't like it on Switch. I want to play that on PC.
Definitely. I played through it on Switch, like that's where I first played it, but it played it fine, but on PC it's better. I played it on Game Pass again on PC, it's great. Hotline Miami though is really good game and everybody should play it.
I mean it's 2023. If you haven't played Hotline Miami, you're a little fucked. You should play it. Hotline Miami 2,
potential pillar of indie games.
Yeah, for sure.
Iconic.
I mean that laid the footwork. Frankly, it's one of those old ones that like is a real treasure.
Came out right around the time of Isaac. Like I remember NL playing Isaac and Hotline Miami. You know, Wrath of the Lamb and Hotline Miami, like Flash Isaac. So
yeah,
it's definitely one of those classic indie games.
The soundtrack, unreal.
All those lazy guitars. I love the lazy guitar riffs. It's really good. Yeah.
Hotline Miami 2, I could take it or leave it. Frankly, I'm sure it's fine.
Bloated.
Yeah,
it's bloated.
But 1 is a masterpiece. The first game is a masterpiece for sure.
I agree 100%. It almost scratches an itch for like a puzzle game as well, because every level is such a mystery on how to actually do it.
And you're talking about earlier FromSoft games and honing your craft. Well, I think Hotline Miami is one of those games where you really have to hone your craft for a lot of them. Yeah. I say we go for about 10 more minutes, and then we do our special treats and. We call it a night.
Sounds good. I'm actually out of games in the stack that I brought in here. I'm currently my last one was Hyrule Warriors, which we already talked about.
And we talked about. All right. Well, I'll do one more. I'll do one more, and then we could do our special treats. Then we could cut it a little earlier. Sure.
Sounds good.
I got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's a boring one to end on.
I've lost my case.
Really?
For Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't know where it is. When we were doing our game room, I'm like, where the fuck is my case for Mario Kart 8? It's around here somewhere. But
that's so sad.
I've lost my case.
You need to find it.
I'm losing my mind, people.
They did that no instruction manual. Instead, you get inner artwork, which I don't love, but it's better than nothing.
They did that a lot.
They did it a lot
around the launch of the Switch. They still do it sometimes.
The first couple years, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. What do you say about it? It's the best-selling Switch game of all time. It's the
best racing game ever, probably.
Easily the greatest kart racer, at the very least. Arguments to be made for the best racing game of all time. It doesn't get better than this.
Sure.
It doesn't get better than this.
Love it.
If I were to complain about anything, it would be that you don't unlock shit. I mean, I guess you unlock some kart parts just from collecting coins, right? But I mean, I miss the days of the GameCube where you had 8 characters and you had to unlock the rest.
I agree.
I miss that stuff.
In the Wii U version, you had that.
Yeah, and then it just everything's ready to go.
I like that they brought that back for Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, that was Smash Ultimate. I love the way Smash Ultimate.
Launch, but I love that.
We'll get
start with the roster of just 8.
Yeah, we'll get to Smash Ultimate eventually. And we'll talk all about it. Big treats. I'll bust out my entire amiibo collection. No, I don't want to flaunt them in your face. I don't want to flaunt them in your face. Look at all my special treasures in my display case that I bought just for him.
Treasures around me. You do that on a solo stream.
Yeah,
where I can cry and weep. My amiibos were stolen for context. I got robbed of all my amiibos, which I had a lot.
Many blesses. Very sad.
I have a question for you, Dylan, about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that we will ever see a version of the game that has all DLC on cart, now that there's, been a booster pack released for it?
Didn't they already do that?
No.
Is that not what comes in that, did they, I'm pretty sure, did they not just re-release Mario Kart 8 that comes with the online stuff that has everything on cart?
Let me look it up.
Because I think that they just did that. I could be wrong. It could be that because they give you like 3 months of online with it to try out the booster stuff at least. But if
Okay, in Japan, it looks like that exists.
Okay.
But it's not does not have a North American.
Okay. Well, then the
Release
answer
date
to
or
that
anything.
is yes, because they've already done it. But will they do it for North America? Maybe, possibly. I could see that. Sure. I would have expected something like that to happen for, like the holiday season, which is already passed, and we're kind of feeling like this is the last major holiday for the Switch itself.
Has to
So,
be.
I
Well, no,
hope
next
so.
year will still be major, I think.
Next year will be
Just 'cause
fine,
it'll
but
be
it
like that
but
migration period. But
they're going to be pushing that new Switch hard. If what we're
I could
hoping
definitely see
happens,
that
happens.
being the year that Mario Kart 8 gets its like a little boost for its sales.
Yeah.
With a all DLC on cart. If that does ever exist, I might be willing to get rid of my old copy to get the version that
Sure,
has all
yeah.
DLC on cart. But
I'd be down for
especially
that.
since I don't even own the DLC technically. Like I'm just subscribed to
Yeah,
the
you're just
expansion
renting
pass.
it. You're renting it.
Yeah. So I'm like, it kind of makes me worried that one day that DLC just won't exist for us anymore.
Yeah, right.
Which.
Well, I mean,
that's-
as soon as
that's
the
thing about
system goes
physical,
offline.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if all of a sudden they don't have Switch expansion pass anymore, well, we're not gonna have the DLC, and the DLC is great.
Yeah.
Just to be clear,
It's awesome.
if you're unaware, they added how many tracks? Like they doubled
added-
the amount of tracks.
Yeah, exactly. So however many, does this say how many tracks are on here? No, I don't think so. It doesn't.
It's a lot.
However many tracks there were, there's twice as many now.
And a bunch of characters.
Bunch of new characters. A lot of fan favorites, a lot of requested ones.
Funky Kong.
Funky Kong.
Let's go. Colorful Birdo.
I mean, Mario Kart 8 itself is almost a decade old, right? 2014.
Yeah.
I don't like giving it the award of the best selling Switch game because it's not a Switch game, it's a port of a Wii U game. Animal Crossing New Horizons is the best selling Switch game of all time, in my views, in my eyes. But Mario Kart 8 is very good.
You're such a fangirl. You're such an Animal Crossing fangirl.
Come
on.
I don't even like New Horizons.
Yeah, I know, and you're still like out here battling for it. Trying to dethrone Mario Kart 8, a very deserving game, by the way, especially
It
now that it
deserves
has
it.
this DLC. It has the DLC now, though. The Wii U version
the
does
DLC's
not
great.
have
That's
that
true.
DLC. Does
That's
that
true.
make it more worthy, in your opinion?
No, because it got that award way before we even knew that DLC existed. It hit that top spot a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I guess now it's got more content, so maybe that does make it more worthy. But it's not the reason that it's there. It's there on its own merits. It's just not a Switch game, so I don't like giving it Best Selling Switch Game Award. It's not fair.
Fair enough.
I don't like a lot of the courses that they added. I have to say, to the booster course, I don't like any of the like world-based, like the real world-based levels. I don't like any of them because they all take these winding roads
agree
that
with
kind of
that
switch up
100%.
sides. Anything that came out of Super Mario Tour or Mario Kart Tour, those suck ass. Those are bad. Returning courses are awesome. I guess I can't say all of the original courses, but there's a good handful of original courses that rock. The Yoshi's Island original course is so good. It's such a treat. But they added a lot of stinkers, which doesn't feel like as exciting. It makes it less exciting to me how many stinkers were added.
I think that they added enough great courses.
Yeah.
I mean, Waluigi Pinball is.
So good. Yeah.
Also, Koopa Cape, one of my personal favorites from the
Good.
Wii.
Yeah. Classic.
Like you said, the Yoshi's Island, that might be the best course in the game.
I think it's one of my favorites now.
Yeah.
It
And there's a
definitely
Christmas
is one of my
course, Dylan. What are you even
Yeah,
talking about?
the Christmas course is really
I
good.
gotta go play that right after this stream.
Yeah.
To get the Christmas mood.
You gotta. It's a great. No, it's awesome that they did it. It's free if you're a subscriber to the Switch, whatever. Which is great.
It's Mario Kart 8.
It's
There's
Mario
nothing
Kart
really
8.
else to say about it.
No, it's the
Everybody's
best of the best.
Played a million hours of it. It's so good.
It's the best of the best. Yeah. Shall we move on to our special treats? I'll let you do your special
treats
treats.
time, the final segment of the show. everybody's favorite segment of the show.
That's right, special treats.
Today, I got a very special treat, a gift for my lovely co-host. I'm just gonna take that, put that there for now. It is the Enter the Gungeon Ammonomicon, everybody.
Damn.
Courtesy of Special Reserve Games. The one and only Special Reserve Games. Let's take a look through this thing. Let's take a look. Look at this. Look at this. It's literally the Ammonomicon from the game.
So good.
I believe it's pre at least some of the patches. I don't think it has the advanced Dungeons and Dragons content in here, which kind of makes it even cooler. Just going.
Yeah, it's like a piece of history situation.
The art's incredible.
Oh.
The make of it, like the quality, is very top notch. This is just so cool.
What's the number on the back there?
The number on the back.
Isn't it numbered on the very back?
It might be on the front. It's on the front.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so how many of these exist, Dylan?
2,500, I believe.
3,500?
3,500.
This is number 3,499, everybody. There's video evidence of it.
That's fucking awesome. Unreal.
How sick is that?
Unreal.
One of the coolest gifts. This thing is amazing. I always have it displayed on my fire mantle, on the mantle right over there, because it's just that freaking cool. Everybody needs to see it. It is really awesome. Anyway, that's my special treat for today. Thank you, by the way, Dylan. Amazing.
Just knowing that it's like anywhere near my life is so cool. It's probably my favorite gift I may have ever given to this day.
It's so good.
It's just amazing. And the problem with Special Reserve.
Well, I have a little bit of this here too to kind of give some.
Is that the lore?
The problem.
Oh,
this is the lore in the game room right now.
Oh, gotcha.
This is the homemade Ammonomicon.
Yeah, the homemade one. So when I ordered that from Special Reserve Games, they were having like some kind of a literature sale. I think. Let me go get the lore. Go get the lore, sure.
The kitten up with that.
They were having some kind of a sale. It was like a last chance sale where they had a bunch of stuff coming back from the archives for resale. Things that were sold out for a long time. You couldn't buy them. You could buy them again. And I always wanted to get Coleman the Ammonomicon because it's such a cool thing. And Enter the Gungeon is so special to both of us. We love it so much. There it is. Christmas shopping.
Here it is.
My first fully illustrated bound book.
Let's take a look through it.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Look at that.
So this, Dylan, if you want to explain here what this is.
So basically, I ordered it, Special Reserve. They didn't send it to me for months, 3 months. I went back and forth with their customer service, and their customer service was really fucking bad and kept telling me it was in shipment and it was moving and things are bloated. And I know exactly how things worked because we worked in a warehouse. We know how this stuff works. And it wasn't coming. It was supposed to be a Christmas present. I ordered it in September, I believe, September or October. And it took them so long to get it to me. It didn't come until January or February.
Yeah, I'm surprised it came.
I'm shocked it came. I was convinced that they sold me stock they didn't have. So I wrote a little book because I knew that Christmas shopping. I wrote this little book.
Always
Christmas
on display
shopping.
In the game room.
Yeah,
always will be on display in the game room.
Because I knew that the Ammonomicon was not going to be here in time for Christmas. So I had to have something to provide. So this was the lore. This is the lore book to explain why the Christmas present was not proper.
And it also came with a homemade Ammonomicon.
Yeah, homemade Ammonomicon. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, very cool. I it's just such a cool thing. It's such a cool item. One of my favorite collector's things that exists, probably. And the fact that it's like the second last one ever made, unreal.
I would just want to know, they were just sitting on this stock randomly, and then you saw what did they tweet it?
No, they were having like a big sale. They were having like a big like last chance sale or whatever.
Right.
And I got
so
one.
Cool.
The website was so buggy too. Like I had to fight with it for them to get to like sell it to me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's this thing is quality. Like the pages just feel good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, one of my
Absolutely
favorite
love
things. But that's why I don't do business with Special Reserve anymore, because they ran me around so much for so long.
Yeah.
I was convinced that they scammed me basically at that point.
They're terrible. They
As
really are. I mean, it took like a year and a half to get Cult of the Lamb.
yeah,
Why? There was a retail release.
yeah,
Just take that one and put it in a box.
yeah. Their customer service isn't great.
Terrible.
But at one point, I was a big fan of them. So big of a fan, actually, that my special treat is also a Special Reserve item.
Hey,
We've
okay.
got Downwell. Here we go.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Dylan, where would you rank this
Downwell.
roguelike?
In terms of roguelikes, Downwell is an
Where
S
would it rank
tier.
in your roguelikes?
S
But like,
tier.
what is your favorite roguelike?
This one. It's this one.
It's Downwell.
I fucking love Downwell. Downwell is made by, I
Over
believe,
into the Gungeon. Over into the Gungeon.
Over Into the Gungeon.
You're
Because
insane.
I think there's so much special treasure about this game. Made by a single ex Nintendo dev, Moppin. Just look at this. Oh,
It's amazing
wow. Isn't
artwork.
that
It
gorgeous?
really is fantastic.
What number do I have
Wow.
here? I have number 917 out of 5100. Oh my
It really
God.
is beautiful. It's a great special
There's
reserve
the inside.
release.
I honestly, I don't know if I can describe what it is about this game that makes me just love it so much. Maybe it's the fact that the only thing you're unlocking, for the most part, is color palettes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's how simple it is. I don't know. But it just is so fantastic and special. And what's really cool about this special reserve, what I appreciate about this special reserve is that, I mean, I should just put the game in front of it. It is the size of a Switch case. Other special reserves, they're
Weirdly big.
they're very
Why?
big. It's because they also do PS4 releases and PS5 releases.
Oh,
so it's one
lazy.
size all box. Yeah, super lazy. But Downwell, at least this version of Downwell, was specific to the Switch because it comes with a custom flip grip. I don't have my Switch present to show it off, but basically
I looked for my Switch to hand it to you. I was gonna hand you my Switch to the screen.
you put the Switch in. See, it's even got a picture on there. This is the Switch. You put it in like that, and you slide the Joy-Cons on the side, and you can play it like it's an arcade cabinet, like Game Boy situation.
It's cool.
It's called Tate Mode. Is there anything else in here? No, there's not. The box, there is. There has to be. The box is so heavy. Yes, there we go. There's a hardcover instruction booklet in here. Hardcover. Look at
What
that.
a release! They've really started slacking since this one.
Yeah, so this one, you can buy the flip grip on. I don't know if you could still buy it, but at
I think
the
it's still
time,
available.
you could get the flip grip on Fangamer. But this one is exclusive to the Downwell Special Reserve release because it's black and it's got the red button. Regular flip grips have orange buttons, I think, which is not that big of a change. But it's a big enough change to say that I have an exclusive flip grip.
That's really neat. I didn't know that.
The flip grip is also really cool because Downwell is not the only game on the Switch that uses Tate Mode. A lot of games like Namco Collections will have an option for Tate Mode. Anything that's kind of like an arcade classic release, you can find Tate Mode usually as an option in there.
Really cool.
And it's a really great way to play games like that.
Wow, I didn't know that, honestly.
Yeah. And this is just a very special treasure. I don't know what it is about Downwell necessarily that just like puts it in such high regards for me, but this is...
it's a great game. It is a great game. There's no question about it.
I love it. I could play it endlessly forever. I did a bad job at repackaging it.
Endlessly forever?
Yeah.
Desert Island, you're taking that game with you? You're taking Downwell?
And maybe it's not my one Desert Island game. If I can only take one Desert Island game, it's probably not going to be Downwell. But if I could take like 3, I would take Downwell.
You throwing Downwell in there?
I would throw Downwell in the well with me.
I almost... This is insane. The praise for Downwell makes me want to go play more of it. I've played a good amount of Downwell. I've probably played like 5 hours, and I feel like that's good. I'm content with
Have you ever beat it?
I've made it to the water world.
I've only ever
That's
made it
like-
to the water world as well. I've
That's
never
like 3
beaten
or
it.
4.
Level 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never gotten that far.
It's hard.
It is hard. I'll tell you, what you get out of Downwell is what you want to get out of Downwell. That's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got
Fair
a
enough.
very special lifelong favorite game.
That is awesome.
I love it.
Probably the coolest Special Reserve release I've seen too.
Absolutely.
Just to give you guys context, Special Reserve nowadays, I just got my Cult of the Lamb, and it literally is just a box that has another box in it, essentially. It's like just a box that's housing the case.
How long ago did you get that Cult of the Lamb?
It came in 2 or 3 weeks ago. I ordered it like a year and a half ago.
You could get Cult of the Lamb off the shelf in any game store for the last
I know
8 months.
it's the same thing as Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Those are like the wide releases. This
Yeah.
one's like the Special Reserve.
At
It's
least,
ridiculous. It's
at
just
least
stupid.
Hotline Miami, the special reserves came before the general versions hit shelves.
Like this one came literally
It's
a year
awful.
later.
That's horrible.
It's so ridiculous. It's because Cult of the Lamb was a big surprise hit, so they're like, we got to get a physical
Yeah.
out there now. So they hired another company. Meanwhile, Special Reserve was like, we're gonna take our sweet ass time
Yeah.
making a box. Whatever. It's fine. I like them still, but I didn't have the horrible experience trying to get the Amonomicon. So
I'm over it. I'm sick of them. If they ever drop a banger release, I'll pick
Yeah.
it up. That's fine, but
that's where I'm at.
It used to be where I would buy them. I would buy all of their releases because all of their releases were something I wanted to collect, and now I don't want to collect it so badly that I'm gonna buy a game that I don't exactly care about, which I did for a while.
Well, you're not gonna buy Trek to Yomai?
No, never.
You're not gonna buy Card Shark?
No, maybe. I heard that's okay.
I've heard it's okay too.
PNP's
Made
had it on the
by
shelf
friends
forever.
of Woodhawks.
Oh,
channel.
no thanks. I'm okay then.
They're friends.
I'm good.
That's what he says.
I'm good. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, I think that this was a very successful episode. Another chunk of games down. At this rate, we're gonna be done this in
Like 3 more
by
episodes.
this time next year.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see you guys in 2025.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dylan, do you want to do are we going to do another episode at some point this week potentially?
I would like to do that
behind the scenes, but
I would like to
okay,
do
let's
that.
do it.
Just so we can get kind of bulked up before Christmas.
I'm very busy on Thursday.
Okay.
I think we'd have to do it. We'd have to do it tomorrow. Rachel's like, it's Christmas. Are you insane? Rachel's a Christmas concert tomorrow, so tomorrow would work for me.
I could maybe make tomorrow work. We could see what happens. I could see what we're up to tomorrow because
even if it's a shorter one, right? We could do a little Christmas rapid fire.
We could do that. We could do something like that. We won't have as many opening segments and whatnot. We could do that. We'll see about that. I'll let you know.
Okay,
cool.
awesome.
Thank you everybody for stopping by. If you're watching
Check out
live,
the book club.
that's cool. Thanks for checking out the book club. You can check us out on Spotify if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, you can check us out on Twitch or on Spotify. You just search Instruction Book Club and you'll find us there.
You can also find us on Triller, where your shit is flipped.
Your shit is flipped on Triller. Thankfully, ours is not.
Rachel will appreciate it. She's laughing. She's laughing. That was a joke just for her.
Just for her. All right.
Yeah, we're going to get on Triller. Rachel's going to work on that. She's going to work behind the scenes getting us on Triller.
You got it. All right.
Awesome.
Take it easy, folks.
And catch you later.